What's up? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you. My room is messy. Anyways, 7:34. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Yeah. Hold on. How are you doing? How's it going? Y'all, we have so much to freaking talk about. So much to talk about. I'm like, oh my God, and that, and this, and that. And let me pull this one thing up. That way I can, start to show you. I made a revelation today. I'll be doing a laying of hands ceremony later. And just kidding. Not me. Oh, I don't have these lights on. My computer, like my boys are, it's summertime. This is an old mobile home. And so every now and then we have a breaker that flips. And I don't know why. And I don't mess with electricity. And, Jason's, yeah. Anyway, so it cuts my computer off back here. And so it's like a hard shutdown, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to go start my computer. And it takes a hot minute. But anyways, that's not what you're here for. How's y'all's weekend going? Okay, let me get to the link. Link. No way I can have it ready for you. I didn't have time to upload it yet, but I'm like, that ain't it. But it is. Okay, so this is let's say hi. Hey, Cherry Pie, what's up? So good to see you always. I feel so bad because I haven't called you, and we have, I just want to talk. I went and visit Mom and Ash and Larry and Ellie. Was it yesterday? No, it was the day before yesterday. And we just chit-chatted. I do have my mom talk to the pre-sentencing investigator, PSI, whatever. And so I've got my seat. Okay. For the July 25th sentencing and then throwing away the key. Okay. We need to have a throwing of the key. Can we throw the keys at her? Can they be electric? We need that zapper. We need the damn zapper. How's it going? You got your popcorn and Coke ready for Monday night? Oh my God. We need like daiquiris and, oh shit, what did I do? Oh, I don't know. It just switched to some damn screen. I'm like, what? Anyways, you saw it. Yeah. I was like, oh man. First when I heard about it, I was like, I knew it. Because, you pick up what other people put down. And I was like, why would Nate drive? He's been here been there in Arizona this whole time. And then he goes back to Idaho. And then boom, he's back in Arizona. And then he's like, he couldn't just let it out about her, the interview with Lori. And so I was like, I feel like that's an interview coming, And so it was. And then I saw a picture. I couldn't even get to it. It was a what do you call it? Promotion. What do you call that? I guess something like a teaser. No, it wasn't a teaser, but anyways, it was just an announcement, I guess, on Facebook saying that Nate was going to, he interviewed Lori and all that jazz. And it was just a photo that was on Facebook. And I was like, okay, And then I was thinking, and I've even heard other people say, I hope he asked her the hard questions. And then, hold on, and we'll do that one first, okay? And then this happened.
Here she comes, I think.
Let's get it on.
Hey, such a pleasure. Besides his spirituality, what else attracts you to Chad? You've said you'll be exonerated and he will too.
Absolutely, we will.
Will that be before he's executed? When I first met you and Chad.
And we didn't meet. You just put a microphone in my face.
Can you tell me where your kids are? Where are your kids? Why didn't you just tell me where the kids were?
From day one, when someone called you and said, hey, Nate Eaton, this is going to be the biggest story of your life. And then you ran with it and you got famous from it.
So if Tylee killed JJ and then felt bad and committed suicide, how did she die first? The night before Alex died, he told Zulema, I think I'm their fall guy. Was he? Did you and Chad have anything to do with Alex's death? What were you and Chad and Alex doing in the storage unit, moving the tire and the seat back and forth?
You've been pushing this narrative for 5.5 years. When you're open to changing your mind, I will be happy to enlighten you. You remember I asked you to watch a movie. And did you watch that movie?
When you were on trial in Idaho, didn't you say that Jesus was going to be back before the end of that trial?
Oh, thank you, Nate. A fact.
But then they exhumed her body the day before Alex died, which looks suspicious with Alex's death. They exhumed her body and they said, no, she had the marks.
Did you hear what you just said? I love it, Nate. You're just as naive as I was and I love it.
Why didn't you tell all this to the police?
So.
Why didn't you tell them all this when you were arrested? Explain
Cut her
this
off.
to them.
And nobody was asking me what's happening. Nobody asked Chad what was happening. Would you have listened then? You have to.
Absolutely. I wish
you need to be on the boat, Nate. Are you on the boat yet? Because when you're on the boat, Nate, I am going to be happy to share all this stuff with you because miracles are on the way.
I wanted to.
Miracles are on the way.
While you were in the temple, while Tammy was still alive, you were in the temple with Chad. Your children were found dead in Chad's backyard. That's not wrong. Tylee was chopped up and burned. That's not wrong.
No, that's all mixed up. That wasn't.
I saw photos of JJ wrapped in plastic and duct tape. That wasn't wrong. Wait. Are you really blaming this all on Tylee?
I lost my children. I lost them.
Because of what you did.
On purpose.
What did I do to them?
You arranged with Alex to conspire to kill them. You say Jesus is your friend.
Absolutely.
Does he support cheating on your spouse? Does he support killing your husband? Killing your kids? Killing your boyfriend's wife? Using your kids' money while they're dead?
You know, there's always a Judas. And I almost used to think of you as the Judas.
Me? Was I on the dark list? So, Lori, if you could go back 6 years, would you change anything?
Oh, that's a good question, Nate.
It is. Oh, heck. Lord horror. So we're going to have a watch party tomorrow night. And I had asked my mom the other night too. I was like, we ought to have a watch party. And she was like, I don't really know what that is. And I never did explain it to her yet. But I don't really know. Because she, let me see what she said. I forgot what she said. I'm not good at quoting. But he asked her the good questions. If these are the only good questions out of this whole damn thing, and then I'm proud of them. Okay. I really am. I'm surprised, And he cut her off a couple times. I really liked it. I really enjoyed that. Was I dark? I mean, it's a relevant question. Okay. You got to be asking people. And she's like, yeah, pretty much. She's thinking it with her unicorn, whatever the hell this is, this hairstyle here. I wish she would lose it. I wish when she went to prison, usually like for men, they shave them. They shave their heads. Wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt to do that here. Throw some, what do you call it? Lye on them. And it's not lice. You don't throw lice on them, but lice, whatever. Soap, get all those germs she'd be catching, all them viruses. Anyways, okay. So let me get out of here. Let me do what I said I was going to do. And she said, I'm dying to see it, and watching with others would be distracting, I guess. Don't think I've ever been part of a watch party. You can tell me about it tomorrow. I'm comfy in bed watching TV and chilling. Anyway, so yeah, because I was like, I was just, responding, and sometimes I get hyper because of the subject matter here, and I was excited. I mean, not to see her, but just I don't know, this is her last hurrah. It's gonna be my last hurrah too. Well, I say that, but I'll go to her. She don't have any parole hearings, does she? Or Yeah, just appeals, right? Y'all, I'm so prison dumb. So prison dumb. So, okay, so that was that part. Then, well, let me go talk to y'all for a sec. Let me go see what y'all are doing. So, yeah, I know. And I almost went live with that this morning because I saw it and it was like 7:30 in the morning here. So I knew it was like 5:30 in Arizona. And I was like, oh, ooh, you know, it just to, and I was like, no, just wait. It's okay. It's okay. But interesting, right? But I do want to share this with y'all. I and then we'll chat. Okay. Because I came up with this earlier when I was going through the documents again, because I've been putting together this massive, very tight, detailed timeline of Melani Boudreaux Pawlowski, of her involvement. And so this popped out at me. This is one of those things that I was like, huh, this makes her even more of a liar. And just remember, this will have zero effect on me in my eternity. Zero effect on me in my on me in eternity. She said that twice, and there she is throwing up the symbolisms with her teeth gnashing. All right. That ain't it. Did I upload the wrong damn thing? I sure did. Hold on. I think I'm all smart. Okay, go here. Gosh. Wait. Yeah, there she is. Let's see. I'm not very savvy in here. Okay. I don't know really what to do. Hold on. Group by. Come on, date. Oh, modified. Okay. I'm not sure if I did or not. Probably not. I probably did not. Hold on. We got a few things to go over. We do. So clear the schedule. Darken it out. Make it black. Black it out. Okay. I'm just getting flustered. That's all. Let's see. All right. Now let me upload that to my Dropbox real quick. Let me turn off my Wi-Fi in here. Upload. It won't take long. Allegedly. Right. Okay. Hopefully. So what do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about that interview? Or that trailer? That's crazy. I mean, she's crazy. So oh, hold on. Some other window just started playing and it was very loud. I'm really batting as 100, or wait, I'm really sucking right now, huh? Come on, go faster. Okay. So, anyways, I don't know what to do. Then Megan, okay, so Megan is doing also. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Hold, please. I never did have this one pulled up yet, but it was in my mind. On my mind. Ooh. Okay, videos, live here.
Hello, beautiful humans.
Let me speed it up.
How
a little
are
bit.
you? It is Saturday, June 28th. It is a beautiful day. I have a huge announcement for you. I just concluded an interview that I think is going to be so important.
Sorry.
I'm sitting here in my studio. I've just finished a 4-hour interview with a friend of mine now. I call her a friend now. We have so much in common. She lived in San Antonio and her family lived in San Antonio at the time that Janice and Barry also lived in San Antonio. She is also best friends with someone who lived with Janice and Barry Cox for a whole summer.
Yay!
Her mother was Janice's visiting teacher, which means that she visited with Janice once a month for several years. This person's family lived in San Antonio already when the Coxes moved in. She remembered them moving in. She remembered them moving out, and a lot of things in between. Janice was this person's, for simplicity's sake, I'm going to say Sunday school teacher.
Oh, Lord.
You will hear more about this in the interview, but it is absolutely going to be groundbreaking. It is the final piece of the puzzle of understanding how Lori Vallow Daybell got to be who she is and where she is right now. I did a deep dive on Barry. It's my most watched video of all time. This one is going to be equally compelling, not only because it corroborates a lot of the things that I know and have suspected, but also it just was very, very healing to go through some of these memories with someone, because I've been lied to and gaslit by family members for such a long time that hearing her corroborate some of the things that I observed and witnessed as well, was very, very healing for me. And I think it's going to be really, really pivotal for everyone to understand this is literally the last piece of the puzzle of understanding how Lori got to be the way that she is. People have asked for an episode about Janice, and here it is. I was reluctant to do one before, but when this person came forward and was willing to speak publicly, I was very, very grateful that she was going to tell her story. In addition, I have seen as well that Nate Eaton has an interview with Lori that's going to air on Monday. So here's what we're going to do. Here's what I'm going to do on my channel. Please join me. I hope you do. I'm going to air this episode on my channel so that it will finish right before Nate's episode starts, or his interview with Lori starts.
Perfect timing.
And then after Nate's interview is over, I'm going to have this guest on my Patreon live for a Q&A. And you're going to have a lot of Q's when we finish, and she's going to have a lot of A's. Not that, the interview is comprehensive. Again, I said we spoke for about 4 hours today. We spoke for about 2 hours the other day. And there's a lot in there that I need to edit out, because she talked about a lot of personal things. Because we both lived here at the same time, we know a lot of the same people. And so some of that was catching up on where people are today and how they sort of fit in with this story. So a lot of that is going to get cut out, but I still expect it to be probably somewhere around a 2-hour episode. So I know that Nate's is airing at, I believe, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, which would be 8 p.m. Central. And so I'm going to start this episode probably around 6 p.m. Central, so it will be finished in time. And then I will have the live Q&A after the interview, which I expect probably Nate's episode will be about an hour long. Even though I know he probably only interviewed her for, I think the limit is 30 minutes. He might turn it into a longer episode, but whatever time, Nate's interview is on Monday. And whatever time he finishes, I will go live on Patreon with this person that knew Janice and Barry very, very well. In fact, I will hint that Barry and her dad worked together in some capacity. They knew each other really well. So their families were close. Let's put it that way. But it was a very healing conversation for me, because it was great to hear from her, that she had some of the same thoughts and feelings as I did. Not only that, he said it's 40 minutes and it'll be unedited. Thank you for that. Thank you for that info. Some people have questioned, why do you keep talking about this stuff? And it's because if we can have a greater understanding of how we got here, then we can make sure we don't ever get here again. And we're going to talk a lot about how this process of understanding the facts brings a lot of healing. We're going to talk a lot about the origins, and I think it's going to be very, very helpful for a lot of people. And I think it's going to be healing for a lot of people as well. So yes, we talk about it because other children are in danger. There's lots of reasons to talk about it and make sure that we cover the topic. So I wanted you to know, please put the word out that my interview, this big episode, is going to be out on Monday. I am going to set it up as soon as I finish editing it, which I hope I will get it done very early on Monday morning. And I'm going to set it up so that we make sure that it's set up in enough time that people will see that it's out there. So I'm really grateful to all of you for your support and for sharing as much as you do. And then as far as the interview with Lori goes, for those of you who don't want to listen to her voice, I am going to transcribe her answers from Nate's interview, and then I will cover the interview later so that those of you who don't want to listen to her voice can still know what she said and not have to hear her talk. I'm putting Lori on mute. I do not want to hear her talk anymore. So I just wanted to announce that real quick. I've got to run and get this editing done. I love you guys. Thank you so much for everything that you do and for being here and being beautiful humans. And I will see you tomorrow.
Yay. Okay. So I'm like, okay. Do you see what I'm saying here though? I'm like, oh. So yes, have all your goodies ready, your snacks, your drinks, all the things, all your comfy things, any kind of stress balls or whatever. Whatever you got to do to cope. But we're in this together. So just know that we're in this together, and we don't leave. The saying goes, we don't leave a man behind. We don't leave anyone behind. So yeah, take you a damn nap. Take you a nap. So that's still uploading, but so a couple of things that'll tie in to what we're doing today, which is a little. So, okay, first of all, I sometimes make my way to Twitter or X, whatever. Okay, who does a damn name change, right? Damn Twitter, twit. Anyways, I sometimes orbit to Twitter. I sometimes orbit to Facebook, right? And I learned something that I felt very proud about. And you're about to know about it. So I can grab the screenshot. Hold on. And I was doing some digging into the Maloof Foundation, which, was in their like swimwear with Tim Ballard back in 2016, 2017, 2018. And then they parted ways. I wonder why. Maloof, I've got to do some more digging, but it sounds just as sketchy as the other ones, Then I also, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me shush. Oh, and I did make this. Oh, hey. Jesus loves you, but I don't. Okay. So Jesus is my best friend, and we know it's the wrong Jesus. Okay. So I've got to do a design where I don't know the rules on putting Lori or Chad's faces on merchandise. So until I can further investigate that and know the rules on that, I would like to do like an abstract or something of, lore horror and put Jesus loves you, but I don't. Well, hey girl, just don't ever forget it. Don't you ever damn forget it. All right. So there's that. And was it before? I'm trying to think in the timeline here. Oh, and I was looking into aerial recovery. Okay, so it's before this. Okay, here. We're close. So yeah, I got so I had a message from a follower or whatever on x.com. And so I clicked the link. Hold on, I'm gonna show it to you. Let me get to it. Yeah. So am I sharing this? No. Okay. I'm like, what am I doing? Yeah. All right. And so anyway, so they sent me this. And so in the inside the DMs or whatever. And so I clicked the Glenn L. Pace memo, right? As the user. And I'm like, who's this person? And it says, will it be a biographical expose of Utah strip clubs? I don't think I'm at the right one. Hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, here we go. Tim Ballard. So it was a post, and this is from back in May 6, 2025. And you got Timbo. Okay. And it says, in LA this week with Jim Caviezel and Alex Coindreau, I don't know, working on the biggest project I've done since Sound of Freedom. Stay tuned. And I was like, the biggest project. So another movie project, basically. Okay. You know, and so I'm like, I tried to, I didn't realize it was Tim. Look, I'm Twitter dumb. Okay. I don't know it as well as I know YouTube. Okay. So down here, you know, gives you the options to like it, to retweet it, to comment or whatever. And so I noticed I couldn't do that. And it says, why can't you add this to bookmarks? This author has blocked you, so you can't perform this action. And I was like, winning, asshole blocked me. I'm like, and I was like distracted with Lori and her damn trials. And yeah, there's Timmy Ballard. So he blocked me. And so I don't know. It just feels like I need a big certificate on the wall or something. I don't know. Progress. And I'm like, well, you really going to want to block me here soon, because we are getting ramped up, because Lori has distracted us long enough and yo ass is grass. Anyway, so this person, Glenn L. Pace memo, wrote, will it be a biographical expose of Utah strip clubs? Tim replied, it should be about the infiltration of SRA in the state of Utah. It will soon get the attention it deserves. Somebody named Anthony M says, Tim, you're right. Focus should have been on SRA plaguing our state. Now, what this person writes is interesting, because every title he names right here after this comes from the Hamlin case. Okay. All these people, these are all their professions, basically. It says, evil isn't just in far off lands. It's therapists, potters, artists, prosecutors, judges, the people we were taught to trust. Millions have been spent to mislead and ignore the horrors close to home. And I was like, potters, boy, that's Joe Binion. You know, his wife is an artist. Prosecutors, David Levitt. Therapists, we've got David Hamlin, you know, I mean, allegedly for all those. Okay. All right. So yeah. Okay, I see. I was like, his hair is weird, this guy over here to the left, but it's a mirror back there with another person's head. So either way, I don't trust nothing this guy does ever. And so that now you know how I feel. Okay. Okay. Oh. Did it finish? Because my phone went black. This is gonna piss me off. Okay, so I'll just start on the next thing and just another way. So one thing I did do is I was, you know, and because what I'm going to show you in a little while, which I was going to show you in the beginning, was why I was digging where I was digging today. And so Dropbox. Okay. Hold on. I'm sorry. No, it didn't. Well, I hate that. I used to never have it to where my screen would turn off. It shouldn't just stop. I hate that. So it interrupted the upload because my screen had no activity. Right? This is the life I deal with. I'm my own worst enemy. But anyways, so what I'll do is we'll just kind of, let me just figure out which tab it is. So we'll watch the search warrant served at Lori Vallow's townhome. Or do we need to? No, not this. But this one will be Melani Boudreaux's. Okay. So this is the Melani Boudreaux, her apartment, the day after the welfare check. You know, when everybody's scattered like some damn cockroaches. Okay. So, and this is from Chad Daybell's trial. On day 15 of Chad Daybell's triple murder trial in Idaho, never before seen body cam video of his wife, Lori Vallow, was presented. She talked to police during the welfare check of her son, JJ Vallow, in 2019. No violence is shown in this video. Anyways, let's just do this, and I'm going to try and do some other things back here. But it's interesting to see what this woman has. Hopefully I'm showing it to you. Yeah. Hey, everybody coming in. Welcome in. Welcome. Oh. All right.
Her car's out there too. What? Think about it. It's blue.
Hey, Miss Dora.
Blue Subaru.
No, not yet in last star.
Hi. You Lori?
Holy cow.
Lori, I'm Lieutenant Ball, Police Department. How are you? You got a minute? You alone or you got help?
My brother's here.
Okay. Let's get these gloves.
And I know I know it was a troll, but anyways, a while back, a couple weeks ago or whatever, I was like, he said, and I'm going to ask Ron Ball. Okay. I'm going to ask him because I want to know, because I want to say Alex comes in or something. And people are saying, do you have a notepad? Do you have a notepad or something? Ron Ball asked, do you have a notepad? That's what everybody else thinks. And I think he says, hey, you got an old bat? And Alex says, no, want me to go get one? You know? And he's like, no, come in. Anyways, so I'm going to settle that.
Hello. So,
Where's
we're here.
Yeah, this is a big mess. I just talked to the guy on the phone.
And what do you ask you?
He was just saying that he wanted to do a well check on JJ.
So, JJ would be where?
He's in Arizona.
Who's he with in Arizona?
He's with one of my friends in Arizona.
Oh. Oh, okay. You got a notepad? No. Oh, you want? No. Come here. Mike, he comes in.
Oh.
So,
Sorry.
Oh, maybe
who's the friend he's with?
My friend Melanie. Her son has autism.
I might be wrong.
I gave him all the information on the phone.
Okay, so he can call him?
Yeah.
Perfect. This part.
Yeah. What is all this?
There's no magnet
is
somewhere
it?
to it.
Right.
Well, the officers who were here earlier
Yeah.
were checking, and they got a bad vibe that like something was going on here because nobody knew anything about a child. They weren't talking.
It's because a lot of stuff that was going on. If you want to know, it's a lot of stuff. So.
Well, that's why we're concerned, because it just was kind of weird.
It is very weird. I've had to move around a lot. One of my brothers is trying to kill me. Not the brother that lives here. Obviously, he's kind of my protector. My other brother was in with my husband, who was trying to kill me for my $2 million life insurance policy.
No.
So a lot of stuff has gone on in this last year. It's been a horrible year for us. I've had to move around. And so I was going to move back to Arizona, put my son back in the school there, because I tried to put him in school here at public school Kennedy.
Okay.
He went for 2 months. We tried it, but he had such a hard time. Now, the person who called is my sister-in-law, but she's his natural grandmother. He's adopted by us. Okay, so her son, who is a drug addict, had a baby with a girl who's a drug addict, and they took him from
her son. So why you been telling everybody your niece's drug baby? Okay. Todd's a boy. He's straight up a dude. Okay. And he's your nephew, was your nephew. And he gave you the biggest gift of all. Anyways, but that always confused me. I'm like, why the hell did she say my niece's drug baby? And I was like, that would be me, or what, like it was confusing to me.
From CPS took him, gave him to the grandmother. She came about him, and then she wanted us to adopt him, which we did, and we loved him.
By
And
us,
my husband and I, who died earlier this year.
Look,
Since he passed away.
Just take a gander over here. There is no magnet on this refrigerator, by the way. I mean, remember they said that JJ knocked a picture of Jesus off the refrigerator? So it must be that imaginary one.
She's been trying to fight me for him and being really horrible to me and that kind of stuff. She's kind of the paternal friend.
Okay, thank
Does
you.
that make sense?
That's what I meant. The paternal grandmother.
And he has autism and ADHD.
Shut up.
He doesn't really talk to people. Like
Yes, he does.
He's very special needs. So I had him in a special needs school there. She was trying to. So what happened was.
And this is one of her big arguments. I just realized was Charles. This was what she was saying at her trial for Charles. She was saying that Charles moved JJ to Houston away from all his services. Okay. But then here she is. She just said he's very special needs and that she literally moved him away from all his services. She put him in a regular school there, the little short time that he did go. So that's interesting to watch her kind of wiggle around this, her effing lies.
My husband, who we were married for 15 years and had raised all these 5 kids together.
No, you didn't.
Switched his life insurance policy to her, right? To his sister, who got $1 million when he died. And we got nothing. For me to raise JJ, and all the kids got nothing, and everybody got nothing. She got $1 million. So.
But in a little bit, she's going to say, I canceled policies and everything. So, or something. Let's see what it says.
I knew she was going to try to sue me for him, or because she now has this $1 million, so she can hire people to help him. And I have
before that.
But you have legal custody.
He's my son. I adopted him when he was 2 years. We had him from the time he was 8 months old till 2 years old. So she does nothing and wants to cause me trouble. So I don't tell people the truth about where we are and what we're doing because of those reasons. So I look like a suspect, but I am a good person. Raised all of my kids. I've done everything that I'm supposed to do in life, but everyone is causing me trouble right now. So
we don't want to cause a lot of trouble. How long have you been here?
We've only been here since September.
Okay.
We moved up here in September. My daughter goes to BYUI.
Your daughter goes to BYUI?
Yeah.
Does she live here?
Mm-hmm.
Lie.
So it's been a nightmare, but I'm going to go back to Arizona so I can put him back in the special needs school. He couldn't do the school here. It was too hard for him. He would scream and cry.
This is kind of like how she's about to drop Melanie Gibb. This is kind of how she's doing with Melani Boudreaux with like, oh, they're warning her, you're opening the door. You're opening the door if you bring in Melani Boudreaux, and she's just like, but I'm not throwing, I'm not throwing any blame on her or whatever. And I'm like, all answers point to yes. Okay. Chad's pendulum is like, yes. Okay. It's like, absolutely you are. And so here it's kind of funny how she can't help herself but name drop.
The principal would have to come out, try to drag him out of the car. Like, it's too hard. But I just don't tell people where I am. I don't tell her where I am ever. And she doesn't have any legal rights to anything. Like, she's been horrible to me since my husband died.
I understand she never called you to try to get the child, hey,
exactly.
I'm the child back, but that.
I know, but she sends me these emails with like the date and like she's putting up court stuff.
It's called record keeping. Uncle Charles was doing it too. Very good at it.
she's documenting. I haven't heard from him in all this time. And so I've told her that he's fine. But
See, and we hadn't heard any of that as far as.
I'm just saying she's doing this as part of that. Is my understanding.
So because Kay is documenting and, you know, her failures, that just pisses her off even more. That's a threat.
And our only concern in this whole thing
It's like
is,
he's
the,
fine.
is the child.
I got it.
And so that's where we're at on the. And then
So
we
I
were just a
called-
little weirded out when, you know, and I understand now that we've heard your side of the story.
It's awful. They just I feel like I'm being tracked all the time. I'm like, why are police coming to my car? What did I do?
They said they were not visiting two guys, and I'm assuming one's your brother.
It was this, yeah.
Who was the other one? The other guy they were visiting with. There were two.
This-
Well, we had two detectives over here trying to,
Looking for you a
Oh,
little while ago.
because I was at the store.
and they
No, 'cause
ran
you weren't
into. Well, probably one of your brothers. in
My
the back
brother
here.
and his friend, probably.
Oh,
They've
who's
been
that?
moving. Chad?
Chad from Rapid. What's his last name? Yeah. Okay. All
So
right.
it's just a mess. Like, just constantly causing me trouble.
Chad the Daybell.
He's an author.
A shitty one.
Doesn't he live like out in the? He's not the Chad Daybell.
Hmm.
Yeah, his wife passed away recently. Is that him?
I don't know.
But it is Chad Daybell.
However,
Yeah,
But it sounds familiar as an author.
I think I know one of his. He's got a couple of daughters. That's
He has lots of kids.
okay. Hope it's safe. All right. Well, you need anything else?
this was the wrong one, but
Sorry to bother you.
Thank you.
We don't mean to be a
I'm
problem.
sorry that people are constantly knocking on my door. They are looking for me and I just don't want to be found. So
high pitch.
Have you had problems? 'Cause I think we only had.
the reason I'm moving is because the brother that was going to kill me, that we found emails and texts with my husband at the time, keeps showing up here. So he found out where I was and he was knocking on my door.
No, this was your brother?
One of my brothers.
He showed up here and was knocking on your door.
He lives in Kansas.
Open that door,
And
girl.
you
Lie.
said something about you were getting threatening emails?
Well, no, just after my husband passed, I found emails and texts between them that they were planning all this stuff to get rid of me.
Do we need to worry about him coming over?
Well, that's when I'm moving back. I'm moving, and I'm not going to be in a place. I'm going to live with my friend, Melanie. Don't tell anybody her name, Gibb, because I don't want anything in my name. I put the
Melanie,
apartment in my
Gibb.
name, but I've been staying over here with my brother because he protects me.
Okay.
He's very
I just
protective of me,
If
so.
he shows back up, you know, you can call, take care of
Well,
it.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just a nightmare. I mean, I canceled the insurance policy since my husband passed, so there's no money.
Oh, hers. I
What
thought
are
her
they gonna
dad
do
told.
with JJ and Tylee? Like, what do people think?
Yeah.
So,
Well,
Wait, didn't her dad sell it, or wasn't that the kind of the accusation that was made during a pre-trial before her first Arizona trial? Does anybody remember that? Her and Judge Boreski. Oh, I spilled right here. They were talking about pre-trial, and they were talking about witnesses, and it was Barry, Summer, Janice, that she wanted to subpoena, and he was like, I don't know your dad. Who's Barry Cox? And I don't know. He could have sold it, but then right there, she's like, I got rid of it, but then she's always bitching about it. I mean, come on now, pick something and stick on it, okay? That's what's bad about you damn liars. You suck.
if you have a problem, shows back up, feel free to call us. We'll come and run them off or something. Okay? All right. Okay, get out of here. Say bye.
Thank you.
See ya.
Again, though, I find it impossible to believe that there were crime scenes in any of these apartments because of how Tylee was handled. Sorry, not buying it. Where's the rest of her remains? Call me whenever you get some real info because I'm not picking up what they're putting down. And I mean, I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just, this ain't it, she was dismembered. Okay. Where? And then where's the rest of her? And then where's the crime scene? Crime scenes. But I would think hers would be worse. Right? It's just my 2 cents.
Not
Right? Exactly. Okay, hold on. Gotta stop this one. Actually, and then play the one I'd chosen the first time. This is Melanie's apartment, okay? But pay attention because this is important, I think.
175.
Is this backwards?
Coming into the front door, this is the front room.
Oh, okay. That is Lori.
Detective, I'm going to pause it real quick. Is this the same apartment that you spoke to Lori Vallow in?
Yes, it is.
And this body cam was taken on what date?
The following day, the 27th.
Of November 2019?
Yes.
Entered. This is the damage to the door upon a no-knock entry warrant. Door, front door. Back of the door. Room. Here's the door jamb.
What the hell? It should be in my history.
Front room and kitchen area. There was, upon arrival, keys that had been left on the counter, a envelope from Amazon. This was on the front porch to Lori Vallow, 565 Pioneer Road, apartment 175, Rexburg, Idaho.
That's that one.
Kitchen, pantry, half bath, garage leading to, or door leading up to the garage. This area, couches, tables, guns located in this area. Sorry, Sean. I'm
Okay.
going that way, Rob.
It'll be at the end of this one. Okay. I'm not crazy.
Staircase going up to the second level of the whole 175.
I try to picture like how Melanie and David explained this, whatever, the apartment and how things went down. They were podcasting, staying up late. One guy get up early in the morning.
At the top of the landing.
And then
master
look at the bedrooms.
Bed. A bath and closet area. Upon entering, no
They had tarps too in last star.
clothing
Yeah,
left
I see that.
in this closet, shower.
But look at the kids' beds.
Detective, we just heard you say there was no clothing left in that closet, correct?
Yes.
Was that of note to you?
She got all her spandex.
It was. It made me think that the occupants, because of our day visit before, left in haste.
Absolutely. The law office Cox, Ryan, Vallow, and Daybell. It sounds like Pepto-Bismol, heartburn, indigestion. Anyways, she knows respect.
Like there was some electronic devices on these at one time. I can see dust imprints.
So smart, these people.
What appears to be computers. Here is a printer. On this printer is a lease agreement.
With her damn name on it.
Looks like executed on October 1st, 2019. And it says a Lori Ravan, RVAN.
And that's how they
That's the
gained
laser.
into the storage unit, C-52.
Coming
And
out of master bedroom,
so stupid, these people.
a hall
Not
adjoining
them.
a laundry room.
Okay, but
To the
let's.
right, continuing down the hall.
Do you
To the
see?
left,
He's talking too much. Do you see, like in here, when we look at these rooms right here, you know, it's not a kid bedroom. It's nothing. It's just like a hotel or like a brothel or something. It's weird.
furnace,
Both of them.
water heater.
And then I try to think of what Melanie Gibbs said, and you know how she stayed in whatever room, and then David allegedly stayed in another room because they were married, you know, to other people. But they were dating and hoeing around and all that good stuff. And so I'm just like trying to figure it out how David Warwick and Melanie Gibb lied to us. Okay.
Closet. Opposite that is a bathroom.
Okay, Angie.
Continuing down the hall, 2 bedrooms. One to the south, one to the north of the hallway. This is the one to the south. A single bed, a double bed, a closet containing a couple coats, 1 empty box,
No
a
kids stuff.
fan, some empty hangers,
Be
what
careful.
appears to be a bedspread,
I love you.
and this box here that appears to have possibly winter clothes, female winter clothes inside. Continuing to the other
I want to know what
bedroom.
that picture is right there. You know, there is one picture right there. It's let me kind of go back a little bit.
Winter clothes inside.
And it's right there. Right here.
Continuing
It's hard
to
to
the other
see.
bedroom. We
Does this
have,
look like Tylee's? No.
this is the one to the north. We have a bed, appears to be some bedding on the floor. We have
Hey,
3
welcome on.
cases
Welcome
here,
aboard.
all containing guitars. Looks like
Glad. Thank you, KD.
a duffel bag full of toiletry items that would appear to be belong to a male
Good
subject
question.
due to the cologne and
Good
so forth
question.
inside. This closet
Hey, girl. Hey.
is also
Hada, hada, hada.
fairly barren.
Oh my God.
Looks like there are 2 samurai swords inside the closet.
Some
Empty
samurai
laundry
damn
basket.
sword.
Another basket.
Is he friends with Stephen Stearns or whatever? He said samurai swords, and I was like, oh my God. But y'all, whenever I went to the trial in 2023, Lori's, right? Oh my God. Like, and you know, it wasn't televised. So I was there and they were talking about all the contents that were in Lori's apartment, but they were in the garage. They had, and I saw this with my own 2 eyes. Okay. They had Tyvek's suits. Okay. Dexter. Okay. Okay. So they had tarps. They had a bunch of tactical knives, a bunch of there was this like thin it was black rope, but it had like a lime green, I guess, thread running through it. I don't really know. I don't know what size it was. It was rather small, thin, you know, thinner rope. I wish I had a size for that. It wasn't an inch thick. It was less than an inch. I'll just say that. It wasn't too tiny, but it was alarming. Okay. There was duct tape. They had, I thought it was a monkey mask, and that tripped me out. Because it looked like, you know, flesh. Okay. I don't even know how to explain it because it freaked me out because I was like, but anyways, it ended up like when Chad's trial was, you know, it became a oh my God, I can't talk. When it became available to us, and you can see, on here, the same things, about going through Lori's garage and what I just told you, the Tyvek suits, all the things, right? Okay. And whenever I saw the mask again that time, it was just like an old man mask, like an old person. And I was like, I don't feel any better. Okay. But like Nate Eaton had reported that it was just or other people everybody was reporting it was a Halloween mask. And I was like, that ain't just no damn Halloween mask. Okay. That is, when you put it in the context of all the things, the missing children, the dead spouses, the attempt on Brandon, the attempt on Tammy before, they actually were successful with that. And then, Joe Ryan, before, you're learning all these things at that time. There's the storage unit. Is that a dead body they're carrying out of that shed? Is it not? It's this freaky ass time. That's all I got to tell you. It was so wicked, and I don't remember a lot of it. It's a blur. It runs together. Thank you, lower horror. Anywho, so, but again, you take all those contents that I just named off to you, and you put those in the context of everything, and you're like, what in the fuck did those kids have to fucking see? No words, none, because that is just okay. I don't want to sit there too long. It's just gonna really bring me down. But and then this brings validity. Oh, also, yeah, hold on. It brings validity to what Zulema did tell the police officers in her interview, that Alex basically pulled a Dexter. It was their wedding night. They were at a hotel in Vegas, because they had Melanie and Ian's wedding the next day. But they didn't know about each other. Okay. That was just by chance. That was just, oh, hey, wow, ran into you here. Oh, you're here too? Oh, okay. I mean, come on now. And then again, in Mormonism, and I don't really know the answer to this, so I guess I'm kind of asking if anybody does know, but I know with like being raised as a Catholic, it's important to get married as a couple, yeah, you want to get married, but that really means more like, have it blessed, which is, I would say, kind of the same thing as a Mormon couple who go through the temple and are sealed, Okay, that's what I liken it to. So what in the F good does a marriage license from Las Vegas do for you? Really? How did it benefit Zulema and Alex Pastenes? How did it benefit Melanie and Ian? How did it benefit Melanie and David? How did it benefit Lori and Chad? How did it benefit all these people who, I mean, oh my God, they got married faster than a cat can lick its ass. I'm serious. They're, and so if it's not temple, like if they're hyper religious, then why not in the damn temple? Not that I would understand. Lori and Chad, they got sealed in the temple and they got married legally. So there's that. So let's cross them off our list. So why, what's the point of it is what I'm saying. So anyways, and then it gives validity to Zulema's claims about it was their wedding night. They were at a hotel. Then they went to Walmart and Alex he bought a drop cloth, like painters use, and he put it over the bed, and then he gave her a massage and it put her to sleep. She woke up and he was on the phone with somebody, and that's when he was like, I think I'm going to be their fall guy. Anyways, and so was he going to kill her? Was he not going to kill her? I don't know. These people be using tarps like crazy. Okay. Like, it's wild, but it also tracks with the research I've done into the David Hamblin case. They used harps during these I'm just going to say it. Earmuffs for anybody. Okay. Orgies. Okay. They have all this. Makes a big old mess. I don't want to imagine. But anyway, so I'm just saying these things have been reported by the Hamblin daughters who claim that their parents and they've listed 144 people in the Mormon sphere right there in southern Utah who take part in this ritualistic child SA, cannibalism included, ritualistic crimes. Okay. This is the Mormon pillar of Diddy. This is this leg of it. Okay. I've got that figured out. So you don't have to. If anybody's interested, let me know, because I'm dying, to get that information out. I can't, and I have been. So yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you for being here, Gossip Ruma. Happy damn birthday. Okay. To you. And your interview with Ray was my absolute favorite. Like, he was in a great mood. He was just like, shining and happy. And yeah, y'all were good together. It was awesome. So thank you so much. I need to get him on. He knows that. I just need to contact him. that's the part where we're at right now. But we have Hookerella. She's always doing stuff, got an interview. She's always keeping us on our toes. But to be frank, tarps and Tyvek suits are 101 disaster preparedness. I mean, yeah, but I don't think they're preparing for they are the disaster, in my opinion. They are the disaster. Yeah. So but that's my opinion. I mean, I just picture the mask. We know that Alex also had the ghillie suit too when he was hunting and lying in wait, so to speak. And that'll come make full circle here as soon as my video. Let me see how far it is. It's uploaded. Yay. Okay. It'll make more sense because it's this whole lying in wait thing. There are patterns in there. They say your past behavior is whatever. Past behavior is future, whatever, indicator for future behavior. I don't think they were married until the church comes out and tells me that. I'm going to believe that they sealed in the temple normal. Okay. Maybe on a Sunday when they do second anointings. I think that's how that went. And that's why Lori says 0 effects on me in this. 0 effects on me in eternity. 0 effects on me because she was exalted. And whenever you take part in a second anointing, hashtag second anointing, tell your friends, it's a super secret and it's sacred for, I guess, practicing Mormons, active Mormons who are temple goers. Because, this is where this is. It's a super secret ceremony that's been around since Joseph Smith's time. This, in my opinion, it looks a lot like secret polygamy. Okay. I don't think it's ever stopped. I think they're like, whenever the church was, being threatened, they were like, the United States of America would not allow them to become part of the statehood because they were practicing polygamy. And the government was like, no, you have got, if you want to come and bleed the beast, because that's the thing for LDS. Okay. If you want to come bleed the beast, you've got to stop practicing polygamy. And I don't look at LDS leaders as any. And I have had to find my way here. Okay. I started out trusting them, feeling like if I'm in trouble, I could go to any one of these men of God and they would help me. They would not, throw me into the hornet's nest or whatever. And I learned they are corrupt AF. Okay. And that is my opinion. I'm a very, very, very solid in that opinion. You'd have to have a lot of evidence, a lot of proof, and a lot of change of behavior. And the way the church conducts itself is, no. And somehow, You know, they've become the wealthiest church in America. How'd that happen? And I mean, I watched it was Jordan and McKay, but they changed their names. I don't know what it changed to, but I watched where it's confirmed that the LDS Church is actually paying these media, or what do you call them? Social media, like Ruby Frankie, like all the people, you know, that are hold on. I don't have all this written together. So the social media influencers, and they're approaching them and wanting to pay them. And the church is like, yeah, don't mention Mormon or LDS or the Book of Mormon. Just make it real broad, which is, it tracks with, you know, how the LDS Church, they used to have Moroni, or the angel, top of the temple, right? If you would go to Google Maps, you would see little angel figures instead of a cross, right? Google Maps, churches, it'll show you crosses. Not for the LDS Church. It was always the angel. Well, that's interesting, right? Because that's the exact department that M. Russell Ballard, President M. Russell Ballard, he was the president of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles. So there's 15 top of the pyramid, okay, because it is a damn pyramid. So you have your prophet, your living prophet, who is Nelson, all right, who's also a skull and bone. There's that. And then you have two counselors or whatever who assist him. Okay, so they're the top three dudes. That's Dallin Oaks and Henry B. Eyring. So it's Nelson, Henry B. Eyring, and who did I say? Dallin Oaks. Okay, then you have 12 men under them, and that's the Quorum of the 12 Apostles. And so M. Russell Ballard was the president of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles, or the Q12. And actually, M. Russell Ballard was third in line to the throne. I don't know what to say, to the prophethood, to become prophet of the Mormon Church. And he was also related to Joseph Smith directly via his great grandfather, Hiram Smith, who is Joseph Smith's brother. Okay. And M. Russell Ballard, also a Skull and Bone member. So there is that interesting, frightening thing. Okay, so and then let's not even get into the connections right now. Let's not get into George Bush and Frank Vandersloot and oh my God, there's so many wealthy people, it ain't funny. But anyway, so yeah, the secret second anointing is this. It takes place. It does happen. There are accounts. If you don't know about them, email me and I'll send them. I'll give you a playlist of how I figured it out. Nobody figured this out for me. I found it on my own because I was going by what Lori told my uncle. She said, I'm a god. I'm a leader. I'm going to usher in the 144,000 into the new millennium. And if you get in the way of my mission, you know, you're dead. And then here we are. Everybody got in the way of her mission. They were dabbling with Tom Harrison. Tom Harrison is the author of that cringy book, Visions of Glory. And he's also intertwined in every one of these murky stories, okay, of all these people. Tom Harrison is connected to Ruby Frankie, Jody Hildebrandt. He had Eternal Core podcast, or Eternal Core, a nonprofit organization, don't you know? With Ken Krogh. Ken Krogh is a philanthropist. He founded InsideSales.com, and he co-wrote books with Steve Covey. There's that. And he's also, I have some videos in my playlist. At least I have some of them published of, if anybody has followed Lynn Packer's reporting on Tim Ballard and the Operation Underground Railroad op-ed video series that he has done in full display. Amen. Right. That man, I would love to talk to him Lynn Packer is my hero. Okay. He follows the money, and I latched on, and that's how, yeah. Anyway, so, what am I saying? Oh yeah, Ken Krogh. And then it's really weird because whenever Tim Ballard wrote, he wrote a book called The American Covenant, but it was all Mormon, it was in Mormon speak. So Nephi, Laban, Lehi, all the things, the names of Mormon. I remember researching this and I'm like, who the hell is Nephi? I don't really know names in the Bible either, but I'm just like, I've never heard of these characters, And so yeah, it was really weird. Still feel like I'm getting to know Nephi and Gaddy Ant Robbers and Corey and what's the name? Maharon, right? Wait, how's he say it? I can't remember it. It's a weird name. Maury Ankamer or something like that. Anyways, but that's what they do. They talk to each other in these. I will. Thank you. I'm a star of that. Thank you. I love digging into this stuff. It helps me make sense of it. I'm just not good at telling it. I can write about it. I can't effectively communicate it. But anyways, Miss Ruby. So yeah, it all goes back to this second anointing that I think took place. We also have FBI agents who testified in both trials in Idaho, that they were in attendance November 16th at the temple in Gilbert, Arizona, where they sealed. I will not be a flying monkey for that church. That church, if it wants to make a statement, like it does not do ever, because we all speak for it, right? You don't have to. It'll just get all us to do it. That's how I see it. Now, I didn't see that until just recently. I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and say, no, they self-sealed. No, it was just some bunk ass, whatever in their minds, No, they were FBI records. They got the records from the church, puts them in that damn temple. Melanie Gibb, her own mouth, puts them in that temple at that time. She said, just not in the initiation room, which means they were exactly in the initiation room. Okay. That's what that means. It's opposite of what that damn broad says. It's opposite of what they all say. Okay. So this secret ceremony, in my opinion, is by the church's doing. I think the church, maybe Lori and there's a lot of literature that I've read from Mike Stroud and all these other podcasts that they all listen to, and they talking all this code stuff. You heard Lori talk to Nate. She was like, get in the boat or whatever, stay in the boat. And she said, miracles are coming. That's just, y'all know how I am with the keywords. That's something that I'm just like, no, ma'am. That's that inside speak. Just like New Jerusalem, I'm ushering in the second coming of Jesus Christ. You want to know what it really means? And this is me following these people like white on rice. Okay. I've been on their ass since July 13th, 2019. I've been trying to figure out, as a non-Mormon, as a never Mormon, I love all people. Humanity is beautiful. I don't judge, but I kind of have a job here to do. And so I spent a lot of time already going back and forth of, do I just be frank about it? It's going to hurt a lot of people's feelings, and I'm sorry for that. I just really want to bring justice through understanding to my family members, to their stories, because there's a lot of things that are not correct. And if we don't really know how these things happened, what good does it do any of us? What good does that do any of us? It does no justice to the victims, their stories, their legacies. It does no good to the justice system as far as prosecuting and stuff, or even the people who we think are co-conspirators, who may not even be, but I know I'm pretty right on that. I'm trusting my gut. Yeah, So it affects a lot of people. It's also a ripple effect too. And I think I don't even, can't believe I feel like compelled to have to even say all this stuff, like this should just be standard, but it's like arresting the wrong guy and putting him in prison, for, what do you call it? Wrongly convicted. I can't think. My brother just got out of prison. JJ's dad, his real dad. My brother literally just got out of prison. And so on this side of the spectrum, I have Lori and Chad, and I'm, pitchfork, on this side, I have my brother whom I love, and I don't want anything bad to happen. I want him to learn from his mistakes, just like I think it should be. Is it like that? No, it's not perfect, but damn. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Yeah. Oh, thank y'all. I'm proud of my brother. I really am. I miss him. All right, let me get back over here and do this. I forgot what I was talking about.
Containing some odds and ends of some sort.
He is.
Nothing else in this room. That is the entire
Oh yeah. That
aspect
Angel
of
of
the
Light.
home upon entry.
And detective, did you search or did you do a walkthrough of any other apartments that day with your body cam?
I did a walkthrough of the apartment 174, which is right next to
Here's Mel
175. Would have been Melani Boudreaux's apartment.
Let me slow that back down.
And can you remind the jury who Melanie Boudreaux is and her relationship to Lori Vallow?
It would have been Lori's niece.
Yeah. Your Honor, I'd ask that the witness be handed State's Exhibit 144A.
We're gonna enter the exhibit.
Yes.
What is it?
This would have been my documentation of the apartment 174 when I did a walkthrough after entry had been made into it as well.
When you went into 174, was there anything that stood out to you?
Oh yeah.
Well, this particular apartment appeared to still be
November
someone was
1st.
residing there. The clothes were in the closet. There was a car in the garage.
Whole car.
So it appeared to me that someone was still residing there. Something that struck me as odd is as we were searching. So this was Melani Boudreaux's apartment. At one time, she was married to Brandon Boudreaux.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that on the counter, she had a, if you will, a 3-ring binder with those clear plastic organizers in there.
Why?
And I thought it was odd because I knew they were divorced, that she had numerous of his credit cards and driver's license in there.
And is that all captured on the body cam that you took as you did a walkthrough?
Yes.
Know it.
And State's Exhibit 144A, is that a true and accurate representation of the body cam you took on that walkthrough?
Yes.
Did you initial that drive and have you reviewed it?
I have reviewed and I initialed it after viewing.
Should be. I hope it's still empty. Okay. I don't think so.
Here we go.
Okay, this is apartment number 174, which is just south of 175. This is the initial walkthrough of the apartment. This door was hit on a no-knock warrant. This is the door, and the door jamb was destroyed upon the entry. No one.
SWAT team. Whole SWAT team.
No one came to the door.
Because they don't confront people. That's why.
The
They're not
front room. kitchen area. Looks like there is a couple of electronics, possible some kind of purse here. Here is looks like several credit cards with name of Brandon
Listen to this.
Prodexio.
Brodexio.
Pronouncing that wrong. Also a driver's license out of Arizona for Brandon. Coming around more.
Detective, you recently testified about finding a large amount of credit cards for Brandon
That's
Boudreaux.
shocking.
Yes,
I believe there you may have mispronounced his name. Is that?
I surely did.
But it was Brandon. I'm not saying that to make fun of you.
It is the same.
For purposes of identity, it was Brandon Boudreaux. Okay.
That's
Your
a lot.
Honor, I'm done with this exhibit.
He's done, and that's it. So, okay, I gotta find it. So, what do you think about that? I mean, that is alarming. This looks like a chase card. Looks like, I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Plus, I do have the Mesa 74-page police report about the computer tampering of Melani Boudreaux. And there's, going back and forth with each other. Yeah, it's wild. I don't know how this woman, Melani Boudreaux, I don't know how she is working the matrix here to stay her ass out of jail, prison. I personally do not feel that she needs to be around anybody's children, much less hers, that were rated dark, just like Tylee and JJ. And then to see the alarming behavior of her and her uncle Alex, who likes to lay in wait, right? Like being domestic terrorists, just like Aunt Lolo there, and scaring everybody to death, and everybody's myself included. And I mean, mine was just like, my uncle was murdered at that point. And then I was like, but that's my nephew that's missing. That's my step cousin, Tylee, like what? It's scary. And when you hear cult, I'm thinking, and I was ignorant about cults at that point. And whoa, that's been a learning experience, still is. But I mean, I was thinking, what about the rest of them? Alex is dead. I don't give a shit. What about the rest of them? I mean, I would duck. And I mean, again, I'm not my mom. My mom, she had a reason to, but I was just being careful, observant. Self-awareness there's never anything wrong with self-awareness. Okay. In my opinion. So, all right, let me pull this one up real quick. It's finally uploaded. Yay. I mean, again, it's nothing big, but we gonna watch it.
Say something like, "Hey, don't touch my sister," or
Some things I put together.
Okay.
And then he picked up the bat
Where was the bat at?
in the living room.
Okay.
The guy inside's name?
I
No,
caught
I've got
this
it.
today.
Charles is the husband of the occupants here, but I guess he lives where?
Houston.
You know his date of birth?
No. From Houston? Yeah.
Is this vehicle here? How did he get here?
Is it here from Texas?
Uh-huh.
No, that's my sister's car. I think he came in a rental car. I think his sister's in it.
You think his sister's in the rental car? Okay.
If Alex was asleep and only just woke up to a heated argument in the family room, as Lori claimed, how would he have known that Lori left the residence? Oh, shit.
The evidence will show that Charles planned to come to our Chandler home and pick up JJ and drive him to school on Thursday morning, July 11th, 2019. The evidence will also show you that Lauren's Life Academy opens its gates at 8:25 a.m. in the morning. And the evidence will show that Charles showed up at our Chandler residence around 7:30 in the rental car I booked for him on the morning of Thursday, July 11th, 2019.
Oh, damn. That's loud.
The evidence will show that Charles began texting with my brother, Adam Cox, before he entered our residence. and that Charles and Adam were discussing in their text communications that my other brother, Alex Cox, was at the residence. The evidence will show that on the morning of July 11th, that Tylee was asleep in her room and my brother Alex was asleep in the guest room. The evidence will show that when Charles entered the house, only JJ and I were awake and present. The evidence will show that after we put JJ in the rental car, that Charles came back into the residence to receive his phone, leaving JJ in the front seat of the rental car with the engine running.
Shame.
He was
That's
7 years
shame.
old.
He was.
The evidence will show that Charles began to scream at me when I refused to hand him his phone.
Because you're a
The
bitch.
evidence will show that Charles screaming woke up Tylee and Alex. The evidence will show that Tylee came out of her room with a bat to protect me, her mother, from her stepfather, Charles Vallow.
Awesome.
Evidence will show that Tylee and Charles fought over the bat, and that after a struggle over the bat, Tylee fell onto the ground, and Charles lifted up the bat to hit Tylee with the bat.
Here we go.
The evidence will show that Alex then intervened to protect Tylee from being hit with the bat.
Here it is.
He did not have a gun. He was not wearing a shirt. He was pulling up his jeans because he just woke up and came into the room where he heard the screaming.
Based on the information you've provided, here's a summary of the inconsistencies in Alex and Lori's claims about the morning of July 11th, 2019. According to Lori Vallow's opening statement in her first Arizona trial, Charles showed up for a custody/kid exchange. An argument began because Lori wouldn't give Charles his phone so he could leave. Lori claimed that Alex was asleep in the guest room and was woken up by the screaming. Alex came into the room without a shirt and was pulling up his jeans as he entered. This implies Alex was not aware of the situation until it was already escalating in the family room. In this version, Lori did not explicitly state when or how she or JJ left the residence. However, according to Alex Cox's statement on body cam footage with a Chandler police officer, Alex stated that Charles had a rental car. Alex said that Lori must have taken Charles' rental car to bring her son, JJ, to school. He indicated that Lori's vehicle was in the garage behind his, implying she had an alternative vehicle, but chose the rental. The central contradiction lies here. If Alex was asleep and only just woke up to a heated argument in the family room, as Lori claimed, how would he have known that Lori left the residence in Charles' rental car, especially if Lori and JJ supposedly left while the fight was still ongoing? You've correctly pointed out the potential explanations for this discrepancy, all of which hint at premeditation. 1. Communication after the shooting. As evidence in Charles' trial revealed, Lori and Alex called each other twice after Charles was shot, but before Alex called 911, a delay of 47 minutes. Lori could have informed Alex during these calls that she had taken the rental car. 2. Alex was awake and observing. Alex might have been awake and aware of Charles's arrival and the fact that he was driving a rental car. He could have seen Lori leave in it. This contradicts Lori's claim that he was asleep until the argument escalated. 3. Prearranged knowledge. Since Lori was the one who booked Charles' rental car, she could have told Alex about it the night before. This scenario also suggests a level of planning prior to Charles' arrival. Your analysis correctly identifies that 2 of these explanations, Alex being awake and observing, or Lori telling him about the rental car beforehand, strongly suggest premeditation, as they contradict Lori's portrayal of Alex as being caught off guard and just waking up to a spontaneous argument.
I'm just saying.
This will have zero effect on me in eternity. That's the reaction from Lori Vallow Daybell after an Arizona jury found her guilty of conspiring to murder her 4th husband, Charles Vallow. Brianna Whitney sat down with Lori to hear why she thinks the jury didn't take her side.
So much centered around the religion part of this, including these Nephi texts. The Nephi texts, I think, became possibly the crux of this trial, and it also was what affected the jurors most. They felt that some of those text messages between you and Alex were some of the most damning evidence in this.
Is that what they're saying now?
That's what they're saying now. So how do you describe the Nephi texts?
So yeah, they've been totally and completely misconstrued. So I explained that somewhat in my closing.
No.
You know, that's their job. So the prosecution, the state, they're not there, right? They receive all this information and then they make up a story that goes along with whatever information that they have, right? They make it up. It's a made up story. They weren't there. They didn't experience it. So they have no idea. They have to make up a story and then they have to stick to it. And then they put that out to the media, and then they put their narrative out, and then they stick to their narrative. So you've heard this for 5 years, but it's very misconstrued.
So what is it?
So when you're speaking spiritually to someone else who
We're
understands
dumb.
spiritual things. So we weren't speaking of anything on earth. We weren't speaking of anything that was happening here. We're speaking of things that are happening in the spirit world. So anybody that's going to read any text of yours, it's going to be way over their head.
And it's religious, and you can't hold it
they
against
hadn't had those experiences.
It's not a
So they have
conspiracy.
nowhere to put them.
So what does be like Nephi mean?
Be
to you?
courageous, be brave, have perseverance.
And why did you have
That's
to be
it.
brave in that situation? What were you referencing then to be brave about?
Conspiracy.
So
be a
Adam
religion.
and Charles and Brandon were plotting against me. My sister was
Nope.
worried about it. My mom was telling me about it. I
You
didn't
worried
really
about them.
realize it.
So you were referring to the intervention.
What they call an intervention. Now I don't believe that's what it was at all.
What did you believe?
I
it
think
was?
they had other plans completely.
Do you still
how'd
to
that
this
go?
day believe that Charles was a dark spirit, a possessed spirit named Ned?
We
That's
have
a
it all
whole
wrong.
thing that has been way misconstrued.
Can you
So
clear it up?
probably not in the 5 minutes we have left.
Give it a whirl.
Given
Give it a
that you
whirl.
were just found guilty, and I know you don't like the jail conditions, would you change your plea in Brandon's trial?
No.
Why?
Will I change it? No. Because I didn't do anything. So no, you have to, there comes a point when you just have to stand up, regardless of what they do to you, right? Like this will have zero effect on me in eternity. Zero effect on me in eternity. And I already know that.
Lori will be sentenced later this summer. She still faces another Arizona trial in June
She'll be sentenced
related
for
to
that
the
one, too.
attempted murder of her ex-brother-in-law.
Yeah. Zero effect, y'all. And I love the double sixes there. JSN. So yeah. Okay. And so I don't know. I mean, it just became clear that I'm like, well, if Alex was sleeping, and I mean, that was information that she gave to us just recently. That's Chad. Oh no, that's a girl. Well, Chad, he kind of got man boobs.
Good morning, true crime friends.
Hey,
How y'all
girl.
doing? Listen, yesterday, Monica Simontelli was
Okay. Oh,
Say something like, hey, don't touch my sister.
I didn't mean to do that. I'm just trying not to lose my train of thought. So I did. I lost it. It just kind of caught me because I heard, this came on by itself earlier and I was like, what did he just say? And again, here I am 6 years later, still learning new stuff. Okay. Things that I didn't hear. And so he says that, he tells the cops, oh, that's my sister's vehicle right there. It's in the garage. Which it is. It's an Infiniti SUV. His truck's backed in there. And so Lori took the rental car. But Lori had, it was in the FOIA docs and everything, communication between Charles and Lori. He got her to arrange his flight for July 10th, for this ambush. He also got her to, he's like, can you schedule my flight and my rental car? It's just how they've done things. Anyways. And so given that knowledge, okay, so we know that I trust my Uncle Charles, right? And he shows up the next morning, to a kid exchange. I've been saying this for a while now. It's very reminiscent of what happened with Joe Ryan. And then it happened with Uncle Charles. And then it happened with Brandon. Sorry. I'm not a coincidence theorist at all. So they knew that he was going to be here this day. She's using her kids as pawns as per usual, right? And so she could have told Alex the night before, which, probably I wouldn't doubt it. Things are coming to an head and it's going to be a Nephi and Laban ending. I will be like Nephi and so will you. Will be courageous. What'd she just say? Courageous and whatever the hell that's them. This is what they're doing. They are talking in this. It's the religious talk. And that way that they can hide behind that. It's just like the mafia. Okay. They use things that, are protected by the Constitution. Okay. Because if they're talking about, hell no, we're talking to dead Alex, through the pendulum. I mean, we're like, what? That does not hold up in a court of law. We need evidence, but it does give us a lot of context of the cuckoo-ness. So I don't believe that they believe this. I don't believe Lori thinks thought her kids or my uncle or Tammy or Joe Ryan or Brandon Boudreaux or my mom or anybody else is a goddamn zombie. Okay. I don't. I used to at the beginning of this, but now I know that she's just using the religious speak to talk conspiracy with other co-conspirators. Okay. I mean, this is also evident with Ruby Frankie and Kevin Frankie when they start to talk about, while she's in jail, they talk about $85,000 that she, jacked. And she just all of a sudden shifts gears and starts talking about this Victor, whatever author, and it's a book, and she starts talking and that. And I'm like, oh, okay, they're communicating through this person now. It's what they do. And that way it goes over most of our heads, right? I'm never been a Mormon, so I don't know. But it sucks for her that my mind works the way that it does and notices things. And so I can't help it. It's a blessing and a damn curse, especially with this one. But so yes, Lori could have told Alex the night before. He could have been staring out the damn blinds. Okay. For all I know, preparing. Does he see Charles drive up? Does he get all pumped? Does he put his sunglasses on now or later? Yeah, you know what I mean? Then what was the next thing? Oh, after Charles is shot 2 times in his chest, right? 1 time standing up, 1 time on the floor. Oh, it's self-defense. I'm fast forwarding here, but then they all go to the Cox house, their parents' house, Janice and Barry Cox, and they're like, oh, you're a hero, Alex, and he loves that because of his stand-up comedian, whatever the hell show he did, where he expected a parade or a handshake, but for attacking Joe Ryan, but he got minimal prison time. And then just like his dad, Barry, just like Barry, just like Lori, they hold these personal vendettas, revenge, and they obsess about it. Barry's is the IRS. Alex's was Joe Ryan. Lori is every damn body else. Okay. Resentment. Never going to drop it. It's everybody else's fault for holding me accountable. Anywho, there's that. So Charles gets shot. Later on, he'll be called a hero. Alex will be called a hero by his family. Then we have Lori leaves the crime scene. Okay. So this would have given, so if Alex and Charles were engaged in a battle, a brawl, a scuffle, a tussle, whatever the hell he said, that's a very feminine word for fighting a man. Then Alex wouldn't have seen that Lori left in Charles's rental car. But we know that they also talk, because there's 47 minutes from the time that Lori left till the time, which is probably around the time that Charles got shot, to the time that 911 was dialed. It was 47 minutes that Charles lied there and I guess in wait to die. How long? Was it long? Was it short? We don't know. But so he's on the phone with 911 and he's faking doing CPR because they're frauds, they're con men, they're murderers, they are Satanists, they're sadists, they are torturers, they are a menace. Okay, they manipulate and use white privilege for sure. Anyway, so during this time after Charles was shot, Lori left, Charles shot, and before the police come and the ambulance and everything, that gives, we know that Alex and Lori talked 2 times and, very brief conversations, but they talk. And so I don't know if he was like, where'd you go? How'd you get there? I don't know if that's how it went down. And she's like, I drove his rental car. Or so there's 3 different ways, but either way, whichever way you go, it debunks what Lori said and what Alex said. And I'm just like, wow. Okay. So anyway, I thought it was pretty big, but that's just me. I do that. So it just points to premeditation or her being a liar and him being a liar. So, which it could be more than one thing can be true at the same time. So yeah. Anyways, just wanted to share that with you guys too. Ooh. Let me catch up on some comments. And so I wanted to, whoa. Hold on. Where did it go? Where'd it go? I started. Hold on. Oh, thank you, little brands. Appreciate you. And again, thank you, Katie012304 for becoming a new member. And oh yeah, here it is. Nina Canadian said Boudreaux and Thibodeau walk into a boulangerie. What? And ask where is Trudeau. Uh-oh. But first they want a baguette, some poutine, and a Pepsi for a guy that drives the Habs Lamborghini. I don't know who the Habs is or the Hobbs or I don't know. You're gonna have to school me. We're different Kunesses and Cajuns and French. But yeah, there's always a Boudreaux and Thibodeau joke all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. Joe, if you're still here, if you want to come up, I did send a link, a guest link or whatever. I emailed it to you earlier. I ran out of time like an idiot. Okay. What am I trying to do? So then, but wait, there's more. Oh, I can close that tab. Let's see. So this, I've been working this. It's a work in progress. Okay. But I'm just going to start reading these down. If Joe wants to come up, he can help me and we can talk about it. So this is an updated timeline of relevant events for Alex Cox, Melani, okay? Melani Boudreaux Pawlowski, Lori Vallow, and Chad Daybell. This timeline integrates the new info regarding Alex Cox's fingerprints on the, okay. No, that's just new information I added. Don't worry about that. All right. July 11th, 2019, Charles Vallow's death. Before 6:12 a.m., Charles Vallow is staying at a True by Hilton hotel. We know that he went on a kick-ass date with a kick-ass LDS woman who knows how to represent LDS women. Okay. I mean, I think this world would be a better place if there were more Nancy Joes. That's all I'm saying. She's my Aunt Nancy now. All right. So 6:12 a.m., Lori Vallow's device texts Chad's device. Contents not preserved. 7:01 a.m., Chad Daybell's device texts Lori. So he texts her back. He's like, hey, Elena. 7:16 a.m., Charles Vallow's device begins traveling from the Hilton to the Four Peaks home area. So he left the hotel on the way to pick JJ up, where he was going to actually take him back to his hotel, have breakfast with him there, then bring him to school. Lori, being the narcissistic bitch that she is, she's like, chicken fries and a Sprite, and it has to be my way, and Burger King or, bust. What's up?
What's up?
My blood pressure. No, it's not.
I'm late to the party. Sorry. We have a family reunion next weekend, and so my sister drove up from Florida, so we went out to my dad's tonight for like a cookout.
Wow.
And obviously, we're from the Midwest, so we had to play a couple hands of euchre.
Oh, that would have been Boo-Ray here. That's Boo-Ray. What is that? A card game?
Yeah, it's a card game where you only use like 9s through aces, and when you call a suit, the jacks are the highest cards. Yeah, I know.
Call a spade, huh? Lori's a spade. Actually,
right.
Actually, what is she? A royal flush? I don't know. I don't really know card terms. Terminology.
Yeah, no, royal flush is a good thing in poker, so we don't want to call her that.
Oh, she's opposite. She's inverted, so it's okay.
She's an inverted flush, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Oh yeah, definitely inverted and projector. So, and a zombie. Tell your friends. And it just, the card thing reminded me of how Larry was like, he would tell JJ a long time ago, all throughout his life as he was growing up, he was like, JJ, whenever you turn 21, Papa's bringing you to the casino. We're going to go count cards. And I'm like, I mean, it's cute. You don't mean it.
That's
but damn,
funny. Yeah,
I hope he does mean it. Count them damn cards. Anyways, so yeah. Well, happy Sunday. I know Tuesday, I will see you next Tuesday. So I hope you guys join us. And then Monday is blocked out, right? Oh, Hookah, the Hookerella and her East
Right.
Idaho News
Yep.
extravaganza. Man,
I tried to get that interview, and Nate Eaton is just a better reporter than I am, I guess. He's a better man.
I think she had a personal vendetta against him too. I mean, she subpoenaed him a couple times.
She put him on the list, on her defense witness list, which would have kept him out of court.
Yeah. I just I find, I don't know, it's just like seeing two arch nemesis, like, hello, old friend. Like,
Right. So
he was boots on the
there
ground.
had to have been some ground rules established, right, for her to agree to the interview, probably.
She was probably like, can you please give me 40 packs of ramen noodles? I don't know. Or maybe some antiviral feminine cream, or I don't know, making stuff up at this point. That is the virus she has, right?
Maybe some hand sanitizer.
I hope it's downstairs. I hope it's on fire down there. Okay. You didn't read those texts where they were bragging and raving to one another about how their periods were like 20-year-old periods again. And I was like, good. I hope the hell they double you over. They not fun. You're not fertile. Your face is still falling. Okay, go catch it. Her face is like pop, lock, and drop it.
She's not getting that Botox back ever.
No. And her boobs are, they're not real. So those, I don't know what they do with the silicone. She better get some prison insurance or something.
Right. Or maybe she can trade it for ramen.
I don't know what they do. God, if there is anything to do with silicone, that is where they will know what to do with it. For sure. Holy crap. It's better than watching survivalist channels, I'm like, wow, okay, you can do that. Anyways, well, do you want to go over this? Well, let me get that strap off my face, right? I don't have this figured out.
It's covering up your mouth. I can't hear you.
Good. I'm like, exploitatives, you know how I roll.
Expletives deleted.
Yeah. So what I've been doing is putting together a tight, detailed timeline for Melani Boudreaux, her participation, focusing on her. She deserves attention too. All
Yes, she
girls
does.
want attention, especially her. So, yeah, I'll read some and then we'll just, how we do. We talk and never get through it. So it's okay. I didn't plan on getting through it. Just know that. So, okay, let me see.
July 11th, 2019. Did you ever watch the video of when I drove over there and parked in front of his house, in front of the van, like on my last day?
I don't think so.
In town.
You did? I watched some of it, but then I don't know if it was a Sunday.
So I started at Los Favoritos, and then I went to her house.
I saw that part.
And then I went to Brandon's house, and there wasn't there was a white van, but it was next door. It wasn't parked where the white van was that day. There was an orange van parked there.
You can see it in the crime scene photos for sure. It corroborates everything.
Yeah, I pulled
up
right
where it was.
Yeah.
It's not Brandon. We don't have issues with credibility and integrity from Brandon. Okay. It's the other one who like to cast the blame on their victims. They like to victim blame and play victim. I wonder what Lori will say in her upcoming July 25th persecution party. portal party because she's persecuted. I wish we still burn people at the stake sometimes. I think I just said that out loud. Didn't mean to.
Yeah.
Some things I shouldn't.
Well, in Idaho, they still have the firing squad. So Chad might get
No,
that.
they just implemented. No, I don't know. I have to look into the laws of that because that was implemented between the arrest of Chad was already arrested. It was in the works. And then Brian Koberger had happened. And I was like, oh, I don't really care for the firing squad because of the blood atonement thing. That's how they do it in Utah too. I mean, I've read into it, as far as the meaning, I don't know. I ain't trying to give nobody their spiritual whatever points in whomever they worship. Okay. I'm not.
So you're for reinstating burned at the stake.
Yeah. And I mean, I've done research. I don't do politics. I don't know. I'm like, I remember calling my mom one time. I was like, I was an adult, well into my 20s. I was like, Mom, are we Democratic or Republican? I don't know. Who do I vote for? I had no idea.
Yeah,
and so
it doesn't even matter anymore. It doesn't even matter.
Doesn't matter. They're the same. Anyways,
Yep.
Just another division.
Yeah, that's as political as we're ever going to get, you and me.
I'll go in. I've got hip boots. And I'm only 5'3". I might drown, but anyways, they have a hole in them or something. Anyways, but I will check out that video because I love that. Boots on the ground.
Yeah, it's not all that earth shattering or anything. I was a little bit nervous because I didn't want to be a true crime tourist type of person and get out and be taking a bunch of pictures and videos. So I just kind of parked there and I kind of showed off to the side, to the left and to the right. And then I left. So it's not earth shattering, but it was an interesting experience. It's always interesting to me to be there.
Yes.
Where it happened.
I was lost as a goose before, during the time until I got to Rexburg. I had to go walk where they walked and breathe where they breathed and go see the things that they saw and just be there and make peace with that property, you know, and just see it. And it did. I mean, at that point, before I'd ever been there, and I went in January of 2021, it was white, complete white. So everything that I had seen from the helicopter with Nate, from just whatever photos and stuff were available online up to that point, it looked I was like, wait, I thought it was good for me to do that and put it into perspective as well. And not to mention Joe Murray coming out and doing the video, or I don't know if he was videoing or not, but we're at the fence, that's not on the property, and he's like being an asshole, a terrorist, in my opinion. I'm just like, and I was like, F off. I don't care. Like, dude, go on. You're not important.
Right.
And all three of those people are mandatory reporters, by the way. Just throwing that in there. Emma, Garth, and Joe. I don't know. We'll never know. But okay, so this says 7:16 a.m. I already said all that. And then so we'll start here. I don't even know if I should do this because we could just talk. What do y'all think? What are we going to talk about? Now we have another. I know. No, I'm like, well, what do you want to talk about? The hell? I need talk points. I don't know. Okay, here we go.
The FLDS missing kids.
Yeah, I've listened to. I remember saying too. Last time I was live, I was like, that is a Mike Watkins job. And then I listened to him on Hidden True Crime, and I was like, I've got to talk to this man because it is a conspiracy. Same with Tylee and JJ. And if people only knew that the FLDS leaders talk to the LDS leaders, talk to the RLDS leaders, they're all in this together. It's all a money making thing anyways, and to exploit and to bring people to their Lord, if you know what I'm saying. I'm not saying all LDS people. I'm just saying Skull and Bones people are in the leadership and leading the damn prophet church, the LDS church. Sorry, that's where his oath is.
Don't say sorry. You're not sorry. I'm not sorry.
Well, people pretty much, I done ran those people off. If not, they're like, oh yeah, I know. And I mean, it's not, I don't want to. That's not my, you know me.
I'm kicking myself right now because
Why?
I met Mike at the trial and we went to trial most days. He was there almost every day, but towards the end of the trial, he didn't go for like the last few days. And I had it made up in my mind. I'm going to offer him and extend him an open offer if he ever wants to come on my channel to come on my channel. And he didn't ever come back to trial after that. And I'm like, crap.
We'll see him at sentencing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're, if not, I'll ask for you too.
Wait, no, wait. You said wheel? Are you coming to sentencing?
Mm-hmm.
That's news to me. You didn't tell me that.
Me and Jason are gonna drive with the kids and do some like a little vacation kind of. We'll dip off somewhere along the way and do something fun with them. We haven't been able to do that.
We could meet up in Texas because I'm gonna drive back too. I think. I don't.
Oh, really? And Megan lives in Texas. Hey, girl. Hey, Megan. I want to go to Dick's Last Resort. I love that restaurant. You ever been to Dick's Last Resort?
I have not.
Oh my God. I'm not going to tell you about it because I want you to be my guinea pig.
An objective observer.
Yep. You're going to hate it.
So what city or town is that in?
Megan, it's on the way. And so she lives in San Antonio. Megan, we're coming. We'll come scoop you up. Maybe on the way back. I don't know. I would love to see her too and just be able to spend time in the same room with her again.
Right. Yeah. I need to make another midnight walk around Lady Bird Lake too. And
no, Austin. You need to stay the hell away from the damn place. Boots on the ground, but from afar, for safe distance, social safety distance. Oh crap. Okay, I'm gonna get it right. Probably not. Okay, I'm done. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yep. Donna says there's one in Panama City. That's the other way. Dick's Last Resort.
That's the Panhandle, right?
Girl, you can't get mad. I just want to see what hat I'll get this time. The last hat I got, it said, "My cat is hungry," and they drew a cat. I was like, and you have to wear it. I mean, that is the perfect place to go and work if you are a female and you're PMSing and nobody would ever know. They have Dick's Last Resort. They're assholes to you. Like, you walk in, they're like, "Oh, you again," and anyways, they seat you and everything. And then they have like these blowers, like whatever. I don't know if they're gas or electric, but they have blowers and stuff like that. And they just shoot toilet paper on everybody while you're eating. And so they make you a hat and it's like this it's like a paper hat too. It's paper. And they draw whatever the hell they want on it. Then they'll come by and they'll knock it off your head. And then they'll, I was like, "Oh, I need a Dr. Pepper." She was like, "I didn't ask." I was like, right. So you can't be like an egotistical person. Like, you can't take it personal, but it is fun. It's different. I like it.
I love self-deprecation. Like I love self-deprecation.
Would be more like Dick's Last Resort. We probably would be a better society. Just being honest, real, and raw.
Yeah, like Hooters sets the bar way too high.
That and their boobs are way too high on your way down here. Just kidding. But yeah, everybody should get a Hooters shirt and the chicken wings, but or the wings, not chicken, but and their gumbo. I went to the one in New Orleans, and their gumbo. I know it's New Orleans, but that doesn't mean they have good gumbo. That's all I'm saying. Not Hooters. Not at that time. It had tomatoes in it. I was like, that's not.
Nope.
Yeah. So, and I mean, me and Jason really ever since, let's see, we started dating in 2018. We were supposed to get married in actually, we were supposed to get married February 20th. 2020. 02, whatever the 22222s. Okay. And then Lori got arrested that day and she was extradited back to Idaho from Kauai. And then it just was one disaster, one trauma after another after that. It was hysterectomy, just the trauma of it all, 2 hurricanes, category 5s in less than, a little bit of time. I call it the trauma tour 2020, but it continued, trust me, because then he had his stroke. And I mean, just a lot of things, but we're still here, right? We're breathing. We're on this side of the daisy. So we just haven't been able to relax.
No, you would have to go all the way up to Dallas to go to Dick's Last Resort.
It's on the boardwalk in San Antonio.
Is it really? It doesn't pop up on Google Maps. Let me do it. Let me do another quick search.
Better do it better. Let me find out if they you're in Texas. Where's this place? It's in
there is one. Yeah, there is one. You're right.
Is it on the Riverwalk?
Yes, exactly.
All right.
Yep.
I'll let you walk in those areas in that water. You're not going to My Uncle Charles loved living in Austin. Like he loved Austin. That was his place, He actually went to a Starbucks one day and he saw Matthew McConaughey. And he was like, all right. Okay, anyways. He said that he was like, his arms were too short. They were way shorter. I was like, that's our critical minds. Anyways.
Yeah, that's why Lincolns are tough to drive because they always go, all right.
2 wrongs don't make all right. Okay. That was dumb. I'm going too far with these, and I love your thumbnail, your show name for tomorrow. True crime. What is it? Brunch, lunch.
Oh yeah, lunch with Joe Schmo. Yeah, we got to do lunch tomorrow because I have a morning meeting.
It rhymed.
A little true crime at lunchtime.
Yes. I was like, that's my boy. That's how I swear. I have to do things like that too. I can't help it. Just cornball, man. Just a cornball.
Yeah, me too.
Way to be. Oh, you had your stroke in 2020. I'm sorry to hear that, Treva. But glad you're here, right?
Yes.
I'm so glad 100%. You're here. Perseverance, man. So I shared with everybody earlier that I found out that Tim Ballard blocked me on X.com. And I'm like, that's acknowledgement in my mind. I'm like, what the hell? I've been being good because of this lady, your friend, Lori Daybell, But now she's out the way, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm kicking that door open. He better watch his ass. I have more time than he's got all the money because he raises tens of millions, hundreds of millions of donor money, and never rescues a child.
He still has to block you. Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, I'm that threatening, and I ain't said nothing yet. So, wow, just the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God. Mom said, amen. That just reminded me of that. I went to their house the other night, and we were just talking about everything really, but I was like, Mom, I can't believe I didn't, like, when I had her on after she testified in Uncle Charles's trial, I had her on, and I was going to ask her about it so she could tell it, because she had told me already, but we sidetracked. Shocker, right? And I was like, I remember it, and I still need to go back in the video and see if I can hear it, when people swear in. So Mom was going up to testify, and she's, raises her right arm to the square, unfortunately, and says, "You promised to," or no, how's it? Yeah, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God. Mom was so game. She was like, amen. She didn't say yes. She said amen to the oath swearing in.
Do you want to watch it right now? I've got it pulled up.
Can you hear it? No, I want to hear it. I don't know if you can. I hope you can. Cracked me up because it's like she was so. Oh, now let me stop sharing my screen.
Let's see if we can hear it. Now, let me turn the volume all the way up. She just got sworn in. So now
we need the swearing in.
Present. Yep. Hold on. Let me get back to StreamYard.
Let me run my mouth. Let me run my damn mouth.
I have so many tabs open in my brain. I've got Dick's Last Resort pulled up in San Antonio.
Leave it there. That way you can remember. I have tabs open in my brain and on my computer. There we go. I think I have to add it. Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to be real quiet.
All right, go and have a seat to my left.
Nope. After the fact. This is her swearing in.
All right, go and have a seat to my left.
Is that where it
okay,
starts?
that's right. Yep. Nope. You're right. You're right.
So we need the whole day in order to just get right before it.
Yeah.
What trial day was that? And I'll do some digging too, unless you want to. It's worth it.
It's a race. It's a race. We have it's on.
Oh, okay. Now it's on. Like, now I'm not gonna forget. Because I always forget. And I can't type fast.
1 year. No, that was Chad.
We
That
need
was
some damn music.
Chad's doesn't count.
Okay, I'm not gonna tell you my secrets. What damn trial day was it? April 10th, 2025. I need a full day.
All right, there's Adam. So there's Adam. There's what's her face. There's what's her face. There's your mom. I found her.
Damn it.
I don't know if I can hear it though or not.
Well, we have opportunity to. Hey, Natalie.
All
right. Yeah.
Back to StreamYard. Back to StreamYard. Take me home.
I wish it could read. No, I'm not going to say I wish it could read our minds because Lord knows that's coming.
Oh, no. AI is going to be there
Don't
someday,
listen
though.
to me. Alexa, watch yours is going to say, huh? Hawkeye's Loves Nature says, ding, ding, ding. Joe found it. Okay, let me pull it up.
All right, let's see if this takes us there. I'm going to
Come on,
fast forward
Kay.
a little bit.
I turned it up. Thank y'all for being here, by the way.
All right, we're getting close.
Are you almost there? No, sounds horrible.
If I lean into my screen, I can hear better.
And then I read this. Bewitch says it produces limb wiener. I don't know what that's referring to. Oh, today, Junior. I'm picking. Yeah, she is. Are we there yet? I wonder how many times.
Right there. We're right there.
Oh, we're on the cusp. We're gonna get y'all there too.
Whoops. No. Up. There we go.
I don't know if you know this. You know, if you use your forward and your arrow keys, it'll go back like 5 seconds. Okay, here we go.
Okay,
Let's get it on.
I hear sounds. There's something going on.
Oh damn, we gotta wait for them. The one in Idaho, he'd say, rice, please. That's how he said it. We had courtroom daddy over there. Court daddy. Good looking too. He would make us, if we had candies.
State calls.
We had to get.
Okay, the state calls Kay Woodcock. Here she
Dun,
comes.
dun, 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 dun. You heard her? She on. She did. I was talking. I'm sorry.
solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
All right, go and have a seat to my
Damn.
I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it.
I heard the oath, but I didn't hear the damn
I didn't hear a response. Oh, man.
Ethel, Kathleen.
All
Rhonda.
that work for nothing.
Mom was Rhonda right now.
Can you please introduce yourself to the
Just kidding. That is my mom's name, Ethel Kathleen, and they call her Kay, and then I'm Cresha Kay, and then my daughter's Ashlyn Kay, and so Trina Kay. We got that going for us, right?
Right.
Anyways, we did that. Well, at least I can tell her, no, you can't hear you say amen. We'll have to dub it in there,
Right.
do a voiceover. I believe her, Trina K was laughing. Okay. There you go. So she probably heard her say amen. I just picture my mom having like hoops in and just being like pulling them out. Like, let's get it on,
It's on.
It's like
Oh,
UFC, I used to love watching UFC and I used to love watching football, college football. My mom was so upset with me because we went to Vegas, which we actually did run into Lori and Charles by chance. So that was weird. At Planet Hollywood. Anyways, that was in 2010. But so we were there for 4 days. I'm not a gambler. My mom, she does. Like I would go stand. She was playing this huge ass Wheel of Fortune thing. And like every time I'd walk away to go get her drinks or whatever, Wheel of Fortune. So I'd go back and I'd be like, damn, and so anyways, that was kind of funny. But mom would always like give me $100 bill. I have 100% odds of putting that in my back pocket and having it.
Right.
I ain't gotta gamble it. I mean, that's a guaranteed. She caught on. She'd put me on the next machine. She'd be like, oh, it hurts. It hurts me. It hurts me to put it in there. Like I don't
when
like
you
that.
max out that bet, that $100 goes away real fast.
It does. And I don't, even if it's not my $100, it could have been. It could have been.
Right. Yeah, right. Exactly.
Damn. I like fireworks. I'd rather just torch my own damn money and watch it. I would. I think I'd get more excited. I wouldn't have shell shock or anything. I wouldn't be like shaking.
Oh no, I love fireworks. I love lighting that fuse and watching that mortar go up in the sky and go kaboom. I love that.
Jason's birthday is the 6th, July 6th. And so, I mean, July 4th-ish, baby, I guess. And so he likes to do that too. But he hasn't. He's restrained from all these years because I guess I'm overbearing. I don't know. And then we haven't had money to do that, but I think.
Well, I learned a long time ago that you got to like screw those little pedestals down into your wood board that you're using for your launching platform. Because they can go sideways and they can shoot off back towards the person that lit it on fire. Yeah.
Oh, no, I've had things, graze my arm. We used to have Roman candle wars where we'd go to the Burton Coliseum and we just shoot at each other from across the woof, woof. We were buttholes. We really were.
Yeah. We had bottle rocket wars.
Oh, those things freak me out there. I don't like them things at all. Thank you. Happy pre-birthday to Jason. Yeah, he's an old fart. He's my favorite number. He's 53. 53 is my number. So he's going to be 54. He's right up there with you.
Almost.
Yeah, almost. That's your son's birthday too. Oh, that's awesome.
I had one of my 4 sons was born on December 27th. So we would go out of our way to make his birthday special and separate from Christmas because it's no fun getting a present that's happy birthday, Merry Christmas all in one.
No, I have 2 kids. Okay, you want to hear this? I can one up you on that one. No, I can meet you. But I was supposed actually Zach's birthday is January 1st. He's a millennium baby, so January 1st, 2000.
Oh wow.
But he was the 3rd baby born. I was in labor before the other 2 women. I was in labor for 28 hours and then he ended up being a C-section. Plus it was the Y2K bug scare thingy. and I was watching Tom Brokaw while I was laboring, and I was like, okay, they didn't blow up. Nobody blowing up. All right. No world ending apocalypse here. Okay. Then they told me he was a girl. I had girl clothes, girl name. I didn't have anything for a boy. I was like, all right. I did paint the room neutral. It was Noah's Ark, but Reagan Page was going to be her name. And then as soon as he came out, and well, I might as well. So he ended up being a C-section, and my doctor was C-sectioning my C-section. And I was like, well, is it a boy? Is it a girl? No, I was like, is it a girl? And everybody laughed. And I was like, I was high on whatever the hell they gave me. And so they were laughing, and I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, you can't listen to Dr. Stella. He doesn't know what he's doing, or he don't know how to tell gender. And I was like, okay. Anyways, they bring Zach, my little boy, they bring him around the curtain, and they're like, he's a big old boy. And they show him to me, and I'm laying there, and I'm like, he's got big balls. And I didn't know. That's all I saw on the kid. How the hell balls, like, damn, how'd you get that?
Like the first serious date that he has, you have to tell that story.
Every time. I've told it a couple times here already. Since he's been born. Yeah. So Reagan no longer fit. It's like Reagan, that's for my little girl that they told me about, that are planned for. But and my family, cousins, family members, friends, they all brought outfits up to the hospital, and I was going in and out of consciousness because that C-section kicked my ass. I was in labor for 28 hours. Before that, I was wiped. And anyway, so I'd kind of come to, and they'd be like, and anyways, I didn't care. Just that's what they told me. It was my first kid, so I didn't know. But oh my God, I couldn't have been in love more couldn't have been more in love with as your baby.
Isn't that just like, that's the most miraculous moment, like in life, like period. I was there for all 4 of my son's births, and I would not trade that for the world.
Or just bottle feeding it. When you're tired and you're like, God dang, I don't want to get up. But then you lock eyes with them, and they're just staring at you, and they're, drinking their bottle, and they grin, whether it's a gas, I don't care. It's just so adorable. Yeah. And then Ashlyn was born. Like, I actually this makes more sense. I got pregnant 6 years apart, one day apart. So Zach was actually due January 10th, but he came January 1st of 2000. Ashlyn was due January 11th, but since I had a C-section, he was like, you want December 23rd or December 29th? I was like, get her out. Let's do this now. So that's Joseph Smith's birthday. I didn't know that then, or I might have thought on the 29th, but I didn't want her birthday to be, it was already going to be right there on top of Christmas. And then Zach's birthday was January 1st. So I kind of wanted to give him a little stretch, where you're not like, oh, it's both your birthdays, and here's both your presents. And
right.
Yeah. So it's crazy. So I have Christmas/New Year babies and Capricorns, much little Capricorns, just like their mama. Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to know what was going on in your house in late March. Like every year.
I got pregnant. It's that one swimmer, Just think, we all were a winner at one point. In every one of our lives, we were the one that got there and won. So just pat yourself on the back for that. Anyways, I know I'm not appropriate. It's really fun.
You don't have to be.
I haven't been. I'm like, I don't know if I'm getting like completely cynical with this. I'm pretty. When she started representing herself, that's when I was like, oh hell no. Like I never have hated Lori throughout this entire process, all these years, until she represented herself, and I was like, no man, I can't stand her. can't say I hate her, but I loathe her. I don't like her a whole lot. Jesus loves you, but I don't. Okay.
You know, so just a personal observation, if you'll take it. You definitely have had anxiety about all of this, and no one in the world can blame you for it. But ever since her verdict came down after the second trial, I have noticed you seeming to be a little bit more relaxed, like a little more.
I'm like,
natural.
oh Lord, what's the Lord tell me?
No.
Well, I mean, because yeah, I mean, and I've kind of had to, as much as I've not, you know, tried to stick to it, but I was like, okay, but you represent your family, stop, you know. I mean, a lot of me wants to just be like, what the, you know, this is crazy, you know. It's how do these dynamics, how did we get here? And then what, you know, how come only 2 people are being held accountable? Yes, I'm grateful, but oh my God, I don't want to settle either for half-ass justice, you know. Like, I want these people to at least have to pick up trash off the side of the road. I want them to genuinely, especially the Cox family, they don't think they've done anything wrong. And holy crap, 2 came out of that family, 2 serial killers. And that is so wild. And I cannot wait for Megan's. I cannot wait for her.
Coincidence? I don't think so.
Swallow. Okay. Look, while my mom was sitting next to Brandon during his trial, you could see the back of her head. And I'm like, if she'd only swallowed twice. I text my mom that. And she's just like, oh my God. You know, I'm like, I mean, just saying. Just 2 times to swallow. It's okay. Okay. We'll forgive you. You know? And then maybe let's thank God for the ones that were. I don't know. I didn't think about that. Didn't go too far into that. Anyways.
Oh my God, you cracked me up.
I work with a bunch of guys, and so it's their fault, but they're really fun to work with. No, I always had to be. I always used jokes and comedy, whatever, laughter, to divert, distract, to make things not awkward. So I know I get carried away with it, but
no, you're
also
fine. I love it.
I
We
just
all
wanna
love it. Like we all you can like put up a poll right now in chat, and it'll be 100%.
And Lori will be on it. We'll throw nickels at it. And tell her over and over again that no, it is not worth $1 million. It's not worth 2 cents. Like, oh my God. She thought, or according to her jail mate or whatever in Madison County, she allegedly, Lori, her first hearing, March 6th or whatever, 2020, first time in Idaho, you know, courtroom. My mom was there. Colby was there. Brandon was here. Larry, my cousins, anyways. And she told this jail cellmate or whatever, she said she took her hand, you know, like she was standing up, and she went all the way from the bottom of her, like the top of her feet all the way up. We'll see if this is worth $1 million. And she was talking about there's Colby Bryant, right? Colby Bryant or LeBron? Okay, yeah. Colby Bryant in the news who had just died, you know, and then there's COVID, and then there's me, she said. Jesus loves you, but I don't. I can't say it enough. 0 effects. I love that she said 0 effects and then pissed Judge Brisky off over and over again. And I'm like, who does that? Who's going to sit there and poke at the person that's going to hand you your sentence? Like, that's
right. Right. He's, I mean, so her argument was that her sentence, there's only one sentence for a guilty verdict, 25 to life. Is that true? Like, can he hand her anything else? Can he say there's no 25, it's just life? Or is the sentence automatically 25 to life? That I don't know.
Oh, I don't know either. Okay, I get what she's saying, but her arguments aren't landing the plane, right? Because she's talking about federal and da 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 da. So it's like a circular he explained it to her so many times, and she goes, correct, but and I'm just like, oh my God, one more time.
Right.
One more time. I don't really care. Like,
nope.
She's not getting out, and she can do whatever.
I'm done. Yeah, I'm done with her.
Jesus better break her out, because that's the only damn way she's getting out.
Yeah.
Did you see that trailer of Nate?
Yes. Yep.
Holy shit. I was like, he's asking the damn girl, you go, boy. Like, he gained some brownie points with me. Not as far as connections and I'm not stupid, but I'm just like, go ahead, boy. I mean, that surprised me. And if those are the only real questions he asked, I was just like, I was impressed. Got me excited. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Ding,
me
ding.
too. Yep. I got to know him a little bit during the trial, and I like him. He's just a likable guy.
Mm-hmm. He just won't talk to me. He's like, I want to interview everybody, and then I'm like, I meet him, talk to him. I even hand him his phone, and I take a picture of him and somebody else or whatever, and then he's just like, not that bitch, I'm not anti-Mormon. I'm anti-bullshit. And one day, hopefully, he will be too. Hopefully, he will come to the realization that it's harmful.
I honestly think he's the kind of guy that can make that evaluation. So, like the evaluation I had to make when I was 19 years old, like the church called me to go on a mission to Salt Lake City, Utah, on a Spanish-speaking mission. And I was like, hell no. And that's when I started diverging and ended up ultimately diverging from the church. But I mean, it was because there is this thing inside of us that is a truth detector, and we know when we're believing bullshit and when you're following bullshit.
Or forced into something, you're just like, well, do I do it just to make everybody else happy? Because
exactly, yes.
I got married because I thought that's what you were supposed to damn do, and I did. And I was like, okay, now you got to get the damn divorce, right? That's the next thing. But I mean, I learned like that too.
So those of us who are honest with ourselves and honest with others will eventually make that decision to deviate from being forced or being asked or being compliant with something
settling,
that we know yes,
and resenting life and that is a continual breaking of the spirit, in my opinion. Just that conforming oppression,
and that goes into our discussions about the ritualistic abuse, because
everything does.
They manipulate people into that. They manipulate young ladies into that. They manipulate young men into that.
And then think that's the norm because there's no diversity. Yep. It's all Mormon. I mean, a lot of it is just, especially in Rexburg, it's at that point in time that the crimes happened, it was about 96 to 98% Mormon. That's potent, And I mean, again, believe whomever. I don't care. I respect your beliefs. However, someone from that belief system that I'm related to harmed other people that I loved with said belief system. And there's a lot of plausible deniability. There's a lot of denial, and there's a lot of not being true to yourself. Like some people are just fighting because they're anti-Mormon. They're not for us. They're against us type thing, and oh my God, they can't, or they don't know how to take healthy criticism. There's nothing wrong with it. Healthy dose do it to yourself. Like do that to yourself.
And if you're on it, but if you're honest with yourself in one of those environments, and the high pressure religion and the ritualistic abuse cult, not a cult, whatever it is, high pressure religion all the way to cults.
Inverted.
If you don't comply, then you are an outsider immediately. Like I'm I'm scheduled
That's
for
why.
Outer Darkness. Like there was not a single person that I know of that I went to church with that I was like friends with, and I was friends with a lot of people, believe it or
You were
not.
cast out. What?
I had a lot of friends, and not a single one of them were like, dude, you really like did a really cool thing here. Like all of a sudden I'm an outsider. I'm an outcast.
And that's
I'm
terrible.
going to
That is
outer
so
darkness.
terrible. How, but I mean, how it's also, it's got to be freeing also. But then, and they're like,
Yes.
why can't you leave the church alone? Bitch, I'm trying to throw you a life vest, you know, grab on, come on, bring your friends, bring your companion. I mean, I just hate how this church and so many more like it make people believe or whatever. I'm not gonna say trick, but they, you know, get people to believe that they are needed or they stand between them and their spiritual salvation, like their relationship with God. And usually when a Mormon leaves the church, they also leave God because of the effed up twistedness that Joseph Smith and everybody since him has continued to jam up, you know. And it's that slow and gradual, it's that twisting where, and then you end up is down is up, right is left, like, oh shit, I'm in the left hand path, and now there's tarps on the ground. Okay. And there's tarps on the ground. Okay. That's scary. But there's a lot of these people who are born into this belief system. And when you're told that you're perfect, you know, basically you're one true church, everybody outside of your church and your community needs you to get into your belief system kingdom, you know, that you're their salvation. That's why they want to save everybody. You realize, have you noticed that? They all want to help others, but they don't help themselves. Like they don't know how. They don't grasp that yet, you know, and they think everything is through works, and it's not. It's just by showing.
It's a personal belief that through your works you can achieve perfection at some point in this life or in the next. Yes. Yep.
Lori and Chad, in my opinion, through their sealing in the temple, okay, they're part of what I call the celestial champagne room. They popping bottles up in there, okay. That's the Church of the Firstborn. That is exactly what that is. Yeah. Church of the Firstborn means you got
she's doing lap dances too, right?
Yeah, you got that pole,
huh? Right?
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. I wonder who her girlfriend's gonna be. I mean, I always picture before she went to Arizona, I'm like, oh, I could just picture Jodi Arias and her braiding each other's hair, you know, just being some old cunty bitches. Sorry, I said that. Oh, did you watch Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo's? Oh my gosh, interview with Ray Hermosillo. It was good. If you haven't seen it,
I did not. I missed it. I saw that it was on, and I had something else going on, so I couldn't sit and watch it. And I forgot to go back. But
and his face was so lit up. He was in such a good mood. And I mean, he joked, you know. It was pretty cool to see him kind of do. I'm like, maybe this is also helping him prepare for CrimeCon, and you know, that's nerve wracking to me. I'm not a good speaker, you know. Some days every now and then I'll catch a good day and I'm like, oh wow, I don't know where that came from. But I don't know. I just I'm glad.
I love her. I love her though. I love Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo. She's so hilarious. She cracks me up.
I want some damn funeral potatoes for real. I've not had any. So without a funeral, okay, you got to be specific. No funerals. Anyways, but so. I don't know. I think I'm gonna do a watch party tomorrow. I do while it's live. Stop go. I'm gonna stop it and go it if I do it that way. If I can't, then you know, hey. Yeah, he is. He's doing the YouTube circuit. But it's healing to talk. It really is. This has helped me tremendously. I don't know what I would have done without this outlet and without this community. Oh my God. So that's humanity.
Thank you to the community. You have an amazing community. You really do. They're so caring. They're so loving. They're so smart.
They're Megan's community. You see these guys everywhere, they're loyal for sure. I'm not even playing that, or gluttons for punishment is what I say. I'm like, yes, really.
Come on back. I got something more to punish you with tomorrow.
Yeah,
come on back.
You want some more dark shit? That's why I try to laugh as much as I do, because my mom's like that. My Uncle Charles is like that. Dark humor. We always have. My Uncle Jerry's like that. I don't know. I don't know if it's even that rare. It seems to be par for the course with a lot of that. Sorry, I opened the window. I was trying to get this too. You don't know what I'm talking about, huh? I'm being mysterious again. No.
You are dark and mysterious.
Oh no. I love when Nate said, "Am I dark? Did you rate me dark?" Oh, relevant question. I loved it. Let's see. I don't know. We got the bitch, right? And then mom says, I can't believe my mom actually said that. I can't believe she did it. She was like, and she, when she first went out at Brandon's trial afterwards, and it's like she knew what to say, but then I thought maybe after knowing what she said, I was like, oh, maybe, she was like, no, I don't want to say that. And then, but I really think she was just trying to get it together. She put her head.
She did. She had to work up to it a little bit. She had to work her way up.
Yeah.
To it.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And she looked down at me. So for Brandon's press conference afterwards, I was sitting down like to the lower left of where you're looking at right here. And I had that time. So the first time the sun was brutally hot and it actually overheated my phone. So I couldn't record the press conference.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's
right
that hot.
there. Oh
yes.
shit. And it's July 25th. It's gonna be, oh my God.
It is going to be ridiculous. That sidewalk will be 212 degrees. You will be able to fry an egg on that sidewalk.
I'll go get a slip and slide, me, or big pieces.
But anyway, I brought an umbrella for Brandon's press conference. I was sitting down there, and the only umbrella I could get was like this little cute white umbrella with like little symbols on it that were like for little girls. So I was sitting down there with this little umbrella over me, and your mom looks down at me and she like almost cracked up. I could see her. She smiled and she's like, oh, you're so cute. You're pretending to be a reporter with this little cute umbrella.
You should have turned it upside down and been like, like put some money into it, everybody. Don't give it away, Joe. Sell it. Don't give it away. Sell it.
Right. Sell it. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know if
anyway.
This is even. Oh.
No, she doesn't want to.
And as a parting shot, they got the bitch again. Thanks, y'all.
Right up there to the mics, please.
Okay, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. My Aunt Susan right there. My Aunt Susu. She's a May baby too.
Oh, I like May babies. I'm a May baby.
Me too. And then, Uncle Jerry, Mom, Uncle Charles, Aunt Terry, Uncle Bobby.
Yep. And I'm down there to your left. You can't see me.
Can I see your shadow? Don't. Just being. Your shadow's up here. We got another 6 months of summer. But no, actually, we have 0 more of Lori. She's got her 0 effect in eternity, and we have 0 more of her. Like, we can actually throw away the key.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's gonna be so nice when she just fades into oblivion. I'm also saying that, and it's also been very scary. I'm just being honest, I feel like, and that's my fault for feeling that way, but it's like the world is telling you, hey, closing time, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here, and I'm just like, well, what am I going to do now? I didn't choose this. I really didn't. I never was like, oh my God, I'm going to go be on YouTube and I'm going to be grandma age and, no. And, I just found my way here, did this because it was an outlet, and it's been a very wonderful outlet, thank God. And it's taught me a whole lot. But whenever my uncle was murdered, it shocked me. And I mean, I don't know any better descriptors for that. It really did. I mean, just saying the word murder, like I was just like, it is such a heavy word that packs a punch. And so when we say schmurder and unalive and all that bullshit, I hate Google and I hate these things for doing that, making us conform when it's like a first degree murder. I'm like, it's in the damn court documents. It's a court, change the damn laws then, I mean, that
Right.
makes
It's like
no
it's like
sense.
Brian Koberger's case. His defense argued that he shouldn't have the word murder listed or read off to the jury, and the judge is like, that's his charge. That's what he's charged with. And like Lori, I don't want my personal information in there. What personal information? The state of Arizona versus Lori Daybell. That's the name of the freaking case. Like, come on.
What's your name, you dumb broad? And then she's like, oh, she's boasting about, she gloats about this being a high profile case, but it wouldn't have been. It didn't have to be. But she's so goddamn extra. She cannot contain herself. And then she like she told Nate in that little snippet, she was like, which I do agree with her. I mean, this happens sometimes, where I'm like, yeah, somebody gives him a tip and then he's on the map. East Idaho News is doing great, and because it's not like Fox News, it's not like those outlets, they cover all kinds of stories. Whereas East Idaho News popped up in 2015. It's owned by Frank Vandersloot, which, 2015 was when Baby Dior went missing, which is interesting timing. Also, just note, this is note, but there's this couple, they're named Gary and Joy Lundberg, I think, allegedly. And they're named in the Hamblin daughters' victim statements as one of the 144 people, not thousand, who they claim abused them ritualistically. Well, East Idaho News, endorsed them, had them on, they write books and stuff on basically like therapy for couples. So yeah. Anyways, what do you call that? Not endorsed, but did news stories with that couple. And I'm just like,
covered them, gave them publicity,
a platform, gave them, that. Thank you. And so I just kind of noticed these things and I'm like, okay. There's a lot of shady connections here and I just want to point them out, whether they prove it or not any further than that, but I will keep my
I think this is just my opinion, but the fact that the fact that the FLDS children went missing out of Idaho, probably headed to Utah, maybe not, I think is a sign. I think it's a sign that we need to continue. You and I need to continue getting out the information because it doesn't stop with Lori going to prison for the rest of her life and disappearing and fading off into oblivion. It doesn't stop with that. It doesn't. There are people that still follow visions of glory. There are still people that kidnap FLDS kids
and rape them and torture them and marry them and use them in an exploit. We'll just say exploit. Okay. Really, that's what it is. And it's disgusting. Yeah. They're inverted. I don't care.
You and I have a job to do, Kresha. You and I have a job to do. We can't stop when Lori goes away forever. We can't stop. It doesn't stop.
I agree with you. And I really think that the core of that is the ritualistic abuse rot. And it has never been addressed. Just like Lori, her family, they never were confrontational, right? She'll be fine. She's not hurting anybody, just unchecked. And everybody needs regulations. Okay. when I say chopping down that pedestal is, the beanstalk or whatever, chop your humble your ass, like don't forget where you came from. And don't be exalted too. And we all do it. We all have ego. Every one of us. But I mean, to me, it breeds narcissism. It breeds victim mentality or Satan's out to get me. And so Satan deceived me. I'm not accountable for murdering my children. It's because Satan, he tricked me. If Chad's a Satan, he sure is a good one. She said that. Okay. Well, what do you got to say now? Okay. I'm glad we could be your lesson. I'm glad Tylee, JJ, Charles, Tammy, and Joe could be your lesson, and Melanie Gibbs too, because she's on her high horse too. She did a whole 6-page letter to AVAL, preaching to them like, "Oh, I was just meant to be in," it was. Oh my God.
I believed it, but I didn't ever believe it. I didn't ever believe it 100%.
Part in it, but I will never admit it. I'll just say Chad and Lori did it, and maybe Lori. I sometimes wonder if Lori has to justify this in her mind because she's like, no, that was James and Elena, wasn't me and Chud. There's so many layers. I know. I'm not giving up. I can't.
Nope.
I've come far. And
you have work to do. I'm super glad that you and Jason are coming to sentencing, though. That makes me really happy.
Yeah. No, I just want to see you guys. I do not want to see Lori, but I do want to be 2 eyeballs beating at her, just representing. Okay.
Yep.
And healing, it'll be a healing closure of that chapter, but we have so much job security for millennia with this crowd, cheese and rice, I do. I want to learn. I've got a lawsuit still. I've got to get built up and put into some kind of order. And then after that, might as well do a book because they go hand in hand. I just have to fill in context really. But
you got this. You got this. We're here for you. 100%.
Teamwork. Where are the children? Gives me chills. Yeah. And Tylee and JJ for sure. People from all over every corner of the world. Not just here. And I'm not bragging. There's a lot of people who are missing, murdered, children, trafficked, all the things, that never get the attention that they all deserve. But I'm glad people needed to see this. People needed to peer into this and go, holy crap. And then there was Ruby and Jody right now. Hold my Mormon or hold my Red Bull, here I come. And I think really when that second wave came through, they were like, oh crap, it's not. But if you really, I've actually written all the names down of all the people that are involved, and it's huge. I've got so many names. I'm like, yep. Mm-hmm. And everybody would know who they were if I named them. And they're just off living their best life, being around other children, being in the church pews, acting like some old good Samaritans, some good saints, and they're wolves in sheep clothing. And they never got reprimanded. And so Adam also has said, they were just, Lori was listening to podcasters who were excommunicated. Incorrect. Not correct at all. Know that. And they never did. Julie Rowe. Okay. Woo. Okay. But it was like in the middle of their romance, their affair, cheating on their spouses, breaking covenants. So, no. And I don't like that. That's just I don't know if he's just misinformed or he's not going to dig any deeper than that. I'd want to hold people accountable, especially if they were part of killing my niece and my nephew and my brother-in-law and my other brother-in-law and another woman, it's crazy. It pisses me off.
Yes. It is. I think that's the bottom line. It is crazy. Like it is hard for the world to wrap our minds around everything that went on here. Like the trail of bodies that was left behind is unreal. Like
and unnecessary. It's 100% avoidable. You know, like go get divorced. Maybe we need some kind of a life insurance incentive divorce plan. I don't know. It's something to counteract that or counterbalance that. Like, if you don't kill me, you'll get this. Okay. Like, I don't know. We got to think inverted.
I do know that your mother offered to take JJ before Lori went off to Hawaii. And
if
that
we
is
would have known too about Tylee, I mean, that's not even the question, you know, like, no. And if my mom and Larry would have known what was coming, they'd have broke the law.
Yep.
All would have been broken.
100%. I know.
But if we all act like Lori and Chad and Zulema and all the people, then that's lawlessness. And like, everybody's just, you know, the Wild West, and it's the, whatever McCoy's, Hatfield McCoy's, you know, shoot them up, bang, bang. But I mean, and so, yeah, we all would have. I mean, we all would have ran in like Rambo, you know. I wanted her. I was like, Mom, this is before she FedExed my uncle's remains. Yeah. You know, and we were going to have a celebration of life for him. And I was like, I went to the casino to get my hair done. Mom's comps, you know, and so she was in the casino. And so when I got my hair done, I went and met her down by the casino part, and she was like, oh, and this was Lori time, right? Where's JJ? Uncle Charles we know he was murdered. We feel it. And so Mom was like, well, what do I do? I don't want to, you know, I want JJ to come to his service, you know, and I was like, invite her. And she was like, I don't want her ass to come. I was like, that bitch ain't coming. She ain't gonna come, Mom. That's straight. I mean, that's how I was like, that bitch she's not gonna show up here. And if she does, come on, little girl. You want some, here's the alligators, you know, boop. Anyways, I'm just saying, she's too chicken shit. She's not gonna do that. But at least Mom got that text in offering, you know, another opportunity to try and intervene.
Right. That day in court probably made me the maddest, angriest at her as I've ever been in any part of this, when I learned that she FedExed Charles's remains.
Yeah, and we have Chad calling.
Yes,
Chad
and it was Chad that did that. Chad did that. She didn't even have the balls to do it.
I don't
she had
even
Chad
know.
do it.
I don't know, because she had the money. He's
Right.
cheap and broke. You
Right.
know, he
That's
is
true.
a
Yeah.
freaking sleazeball. I want to know more
But
about
that made
Chad's
me so mad, and
sister.
it still makes me upset today. Like
Today I was like, we don't know anything about Chad's sister. Really want to know what's up with that. If anybody knows, let me know. I won't say nothing if you don't want me to. But she's the only girl out of all those boys, and they're not close, and we know how he treats women, and I want to know the rest of the story there. And I'm so looking forward to Megan's interview tomorrow night. She said she did a 4-hour, or tomorrow evening, 4-hour interview. I don't know. She's going to edit it down, right? A little bit, but I'm like, I'm
with
ready.
who? With who?
With some, hold on, let me grab it, because I don't like to misquote people here. Believe it or not. Here, I got it right here. See? Oh, hey, Megan. All right, let me start it right here.
I think is going to be so important.
Okay.
I have a huge announcement for you. I just concluded an interview that I think is going to be so important. I'm sitting here in my studio. I've just finished a 4-hour interview with a friend of mine now. I call her a friend now. We have so much in common. She lived in San Antonio, and her family lived in San Antonio at the time that Janice and Barry also lived in San Antonio. She is also best friends with someone who lived with Janice and Barry Cox.
Yep.
For a whole summer.
Oh, crap.
Her mother was Janice's visiting teacher, which means that she visited with Janice once a month for several years. This person's family lived in San Antonio already when the Coxes moved in. She remembered them moving in. She remembered them moving out, and a lot of things in between. Janice was this person's, for simplicity's sake, I'm going to say Sunday school teacher. You will hear more about this in the interview, but it is absolutely going to be groundbreaking.
Nice. Very nice.
It is the final piece of the puzzle of understanding how Lori Vallow Daybell got to be who she is and where she is right now. I did a deep dive on Barry. It's my most watched video of all time. This one is going to be equally compelling, not only because it corroborates a lot of the things that I know and have suspected, but also it just was very, very healing to go through some of these memories with someone, because I've been lied to and gaslit by family members for such a long time that hearing her corroborate some of the things that I observed and witnessed as well, was very, very healing for me. And I think it's going to be really, really pivotal for everyone to understand this is literally the last piece of the puzzle of understanding how Lori got to be the way that she is. People have asked for an episode about Janice, and here it is. I was reluctant to do one before, but when this person came forward and
go ahead.
I need to see this. I'm just saying, like,
we all
if
do.
If Megan says this is the last piece of the puzzle for her,
Yeah.
this is going to be huge.
It gives me chills, man. Like I'm so
I
grateful
honestly
to this woman.
I would rather see this than I would see Nate Eaton's interview of Lori. Like, for real.
We get
I'm not
both
exaggerating.
because Megan's awesome.
Yes.
And she's going to stream it. Oh, wait, we'll have to listen to the rest of this though, because she says,
All right.
I don't remember if she said her Patreon. I don't know. If not, I'll be there anyway. So, but before, okay, yeah, let me shut up. Let me just go turn the damn video back on.
Was willing to speak publicly.
I'm so happy about
was very, very grateful that she was going to tell her story. In addition, I have seen as well that Nate Eaton has an interview with Lori that's going to air on Monday. So here's what we're going to do. Here's what I'm going to do on my channel. Please join me. I hope you do. I'm going to air this episode on my channel so that it will finish right before Nate's episode starts, or his interview with Lori starts. And then after Nate's interview is over, I'm going to have this guest on my Patreon live for a Q&A. And you're going to have a lot of Q's when we finish, and she's going to have a lot of A's. Not that, the interview is comprehensive. Again, I said we spoke for about 4 hours today. We spoke for about 2 hours the other day. And there's a lot in there that I need to edit out because she talked about a lot of personal things. Because we both lived here at the same time, we know a lot of the same people. And so some of that was catching up on where people are today and how they sort of fit in with this story. So a lot of that is going to get cut out, but I still expect it to be probably somewhere around a 2-hour episode. So I know that Nate's is airing at, I believe, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, which would be 8 p.m. Central. And so I'm going to start this episode probably around 6 p.m. Central, so it will be finished in time. And then I will have the live Q&A after the interview, which I expect probably Nate's episode will be about an hour long. Even though I know he probably only interviewed her for, I think the limit is 30 minutes. He might turn it into a longer episode, but whatever time, Nate's interview is on Monday. And whatever time he finishes, I will go live on Patreon with this person that knew Janice and Barry very, very well. In fact, I will hint that Barry and her dad worked together in some capacity. They knew each other really well. So
beneficial life insurance.
Their families were close. Let's put it that way. But it was a very healing conversation for me because it was great to hear from her, that she had some of the same thoughts and feelings as I did. Not only that, he said it's 40 minutes and it'll be unedited. Thank you for that. Thank you for that info. Some people have questioned, why do you keep talking about this stuff? And it's because if we can have a greater understanding of how we got here, then we can make sure we don't ever get here again. And we're going to talk
because nobody gets to tell you how to grieve. Okay. First and foremost. And you don't get to tell anybody else how to grieve. So there's my 2 cents.
A lot about how this process of understanding the facts brings a lot of healing. We're going to talk a lot about the origins, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be very, very helpful for a lot of people. And I think it's going to be healing for a lot of people as well. So yes, we talk about it because other children are in danger. There's lots of reasons to talk about it and make sure that we cover the topic. So I wanted you to know, please put the word out that my interview, this big episode, is going to be out on Monday. I am going to set it up as soon as I finish editing it, which I hope I will get it done very early on Monday morning. And I'm going to set it up so that we make sure that it's set up in enough time that people will see that it's out there. So I'm really grateful to all of you for your support and for sharing as much as you do. And then as far as the interview with Lori goes, for those of you who don't want to listen to her voice, I am going to transcribe her answers from Nate's interview, and then I will cover the interview later so that those of you who don't want to listen to her voice can still know what she said and not have to hear her talk. I'm putting Lori on mute. I do not want to hear her talk anymore. So I just wanted to announce that real quick. I've got to run and get this editing done. I love you guys. Thank you so much for everything that you do and for being here and being beautiful humans. And I will see you tomorrow.
Bye, girl. Bye. Godspeed.
I love it.
Right? Godspeed.
If you don't want to hear her voice, I will transcribe it for you. I've got to mute her so y'all can mute her too. I love it.
I didn't have time. So I had to that was a lot to have to say today, because I think I busted Lori and her brother's lies today. Like, I don't know if you caught that part, but I mean, it's just the way Lori says Alex was just getting up. He was pulling his jeans up when Charles showed up. And then, how did he know what she drove away in a rental car unless she told him after he got shot and while he was waiting, doing jumping jacks or whatever the hell he was doing to call 911, or he knew about it the night before because Lori had actually rented the rental car and scheduled the flight for my uncle. So I'm sure it was probably premeditated. It was already premeditated, everything else. So
and reserve the hotel room for him.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I am shocked that she did not go to that hotel room yet, but she knew about it because she rented it. She made the arrangements for it. They did to Charles what they wanted to do to Joe, that they talked about doing to Joe, about baiting him into a fight and claiming self-defense. I mean, I'm like, wow.
You know what I'm wow about? I'm wow about Chandler PD buying that freaking story. That pisses me off. Like, I'm highly critical of police investigations.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah. No, Gilbert too. Gilbert wasn't as bad as Chandler, but because
they mishandled the mental health stuff. They told him what to do.
Yes.
He followed their advice, and then they did not follow their procedure.
Yep.
Period. Then then the murder case.
She came in and he's like, I can already tell you're not a threat to anybody, to yourself or anybody else.
Yeah.
Like,
you're
clear.
Here, but kids are going to school. No, just one of her children, half-ass going to school. She's scheming and plotting, and it's all coming to a head. It's going to be a Nephi and Laban ending. She's going to be like Nephi. Yeah. She was told. She's more like Jezebel, and I hope like hell one day I hope her shelf breaks. I hope it breaks so damn hard and the smithereens, because then that's the only time that Lori Daybell can ever even think about what she has done and I say done because I don't care if she was hands-on or not. She was like, here you go. I mean, whatever. She made it happen. And I think it was part of the plan long before, it wasn't, it was like, okay, once I get the monies coming into my account, they were gone. Nothing to her. And she cries about them she cries in that trailer that Nate Eaton has. So interesting, right? I'm just like, bitch, you don't get to cry. You don't get to cry.
No.
So and it sucks I'm not that kind of human, like I have empathy, I have compassion, I have love, and but I just can't stand what she did. I lost her too, and it sucks. She's vacant. I'm not saying she wasn't shitty before that. I didn't know she didn't show me that side. Trust me, I'd have took Kane and JJ as like a football and I'd have ran my ass off. He was a little bitty baby. What's the difference? Like you saved him from his drug parents, okay? Just to, and I don't know if I don't know how far, if she's in this system like the Hamblins are, like I believe Ruby and Jody are, where they train their kids, where they abuse them on purpose to shatter, their souls, basically, to shatter that child's soul, to break them. And then, the training part, I'm telling you, it's effed up. It's really messed up, but it's not a far stretch. And there's too many kids. This isn't just Lori and Chad.
Yep. And it's not going to go away when Lori and Chad go away. It's not going away.
There's more Tylee and JJ's. There's Jack and Lily's. There's, I don't know the FLDS kids' names, but there was, oh my gosh, the other Gilbert. That's the other thing too. The Spring Thibodeau and her brother, and I forget what Blaze Thibodeau was her son, 16-year-old son. They hauled ass. Same kind of gibberish, same temple. I think same ward. Trace would know. I forget. Oh, and then there's yours. That's what I was trying to do. They're right next to each other, and I forget. But thank you for joining.
The FLDS kids are Rochelle and Alan Fisher, just to put their names out there. Fisher. Rochelle and Alan.
And there's so many more just like them, unfortunately. So yeah, tons of work to do, tons of learning to do, and each case these are different people, but still people, kids, helpless, innocent.
Yep.
And they're just victims of the family they came into,
Right. They didn't have a choice. They didn't choose to
I didn't want to be born. I didn't ask to be born. Right. I'm just saying that as a entitled little smartass, but we didn't. None of us did.
JJ didn't ask to be adopted, but he was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
Tylee didn't ask for her mom to get divorced 3 times before Charles.
And to abuse her the way she did, and to minimize her and try to erase her. Really, she tried to delete her.
Yeah. Will you do me one favor before we sign off for the night?
Allegedly. I'm just kidding.
Will you find me a JJ video that we can play?
Yes. You just have to keep
I love
talking.
me a JJ video.
I'm sitting here thinking, you got to talk though.
Right. Okay.
Keep the convo going.
Talking, walking the mile, getting right with Jesus.
Amen. Play ball.
There's work yet to be done. Like I did a special yesterday afternoon, and I just happened to go through this little town in Oklahoma called Hooker, Oklahoma, and I sent you that picture of the Hooker Inn. But there was a teenager that went missing on June 5th there, a teenage girl, London Valdez, and her body was found on June 12th, a week later. And so I did a special on that yesterday, and it's just, there's no shortage of this stuff that's going on. So I tried to get the word out about her story and publicize it. Nobody is covering it.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And so that needs to change too. And I don't know how to change it. I haven't been able to, I'm like, I'm so dedicated to this. It takes up all of my time.
I understand.
There's got to be a way.
I just happened to stumble across it
Yeah,
I
no,
just
that's
happened to.
good. That's good. We need that. Oh, and about the any other FOIA, like I don't know if we have to re-FOIA, Arizona, or I know Idaho still owes some FOIAs. I know. And then after all the Brandon stuff, then they came out with the other Brandon. I'm like, what the hell? Where's this been? Why did this not come out in the first FOIA? That's weird. With Melanie and freaking. Now, look, I'm going to ask your permission first because you're going to have to do some, it would be some strikes or not strikes, but music. So if you don't want to do that, then I won't because it's a lot.
I'm fine.
Okay. You got to jump. You can say erase it, delete it, whatever.
Right.
That's fine.
Right. You have options.
That's how I look. I mean, we don't have to watch all of it either. It's long. But this is like, how can love win? JJ Vallow, Tylee Ryan, Charles Vallow, Tammy Daybell, and Joe Ryan. Love always wins. This is back in the day. Yep. Get your tissues.
From my heart. Thank you.
Bobblehead.
Right.
I scare him. I'm like, the little, yeah.
Yep.
I always go over things. Cherry pie shocked me too. Yeah. They have that. We carry them on. This is this. Thank you. This is my mom's favorite song, and this is from Hawaii, Hawaiian singer,
JJ was a May baby too.
May 25th. This reminds me of Tylee and JJ so much. Somewhere, yeah. Paw Patrol.
Have you seen JJ? Say your ABCs. A, B, C, D.
Miss Monkle's voice.
Yeah.
Yay! Say hi,
He was
Mama.
startled.
Papa.
That startled him a little bit.
Say hi,
There's
Mama.
like, I'm
Papa.
blacked out.
Say hi, Mama, and hi, Papa. Yes.
Mom and Larry said, this is what happened. All right.
That's so funny.
Every kid.
Yeah, right?
It sounds like a Muppet. Come on, Trahan. My brother right there. So strong.
He wants the box. He didn't care about what was in the box. He wants the box. That's every kid.
Here we go again. You could just send him an empty box.
And many times.
Who's that?
Pour him out.
Oh, yeah. It's a girl.
early. Back. Alex Cox. Tylee and JJ. That's mom.
He turned 8 on May 25th, and he was baptized by Brandon, right?
He was not baptized.
He wasn't baptized?
Nope.
Was that Tylee that Brandon baptized?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh shit. Yep. I might have to start. How'd that go?
Guess I'm gonna wear another hat.
Colby, you had no idea how much that was gonna come through.
Guess I'm gonna wear another hat.
Colby has to wear all the hats.
Right.
Yeah. Oh god.
Just smile and just laugh.
Oh, I want to talk to the teachers.
Right?
Okay.
So much.
He's just a fun boy to be around and she really does love
I
everything.
bought the book she talks about. That's right over there.
Here in Arizona, these
Oh, we're not done. I don't think. I
She
think there's one more.
could be sassy, but just super sweet. Arms around it.
Echo says Tylee would have graduated this year, but she already had her GED, eager for the future. She loved the performing arts and making silly videos.
Worry no more. Just pick up a stranger from the street.
But this song is so awesome, I swear. It's called Love Always Wins.
I know you're listening from the other side. So here I come, no longer will I hide. Your guns are pointed straight at me. Love always wins.
Oh.
I had it all, but I burned it down. If we don't get lost and we don't get found, we all have violence hiding deep within. I need to hear it time and time again. It's written and it's always been, love always wins. I cannot see you, but I know you're near.
Paw Paw, your new favorite toy, JJ. What's your new favorite toy? Show me on Paw Paw. What's it called? JJ, what's your toy called? Toilet Trouble?
Can I have a kiss? That was
My daughter.
Give me
When I'm strong, and when I'm weak, I doubt it, and suddenly I need to hear it time and time again. It's written and it's always been, love always wins. You say there is a distance. You say space is much too wide.
That's his knee.
Yeah. Always instance. I'm going to find you.
He wouldn't say ants. He wouldn't say it. And this, he was discovering himself. They were at Sonic. And you can just see him. You know how you look in the and you see right there. He's just like, oh. I think I might have him banging on the pot or the things outside too.
Right.
Yep, there it is. That's what Larry was talking about. With all his animals right there. See him?
I need to hear it time and time again. It's written and it's always been.
He dropped his spoons. Like-
My daughter.
Is it loud enough?
This is when Mom was helping Uncle Charles move.
Is it loud enough?
He was partying.
Okay.
Look, he's fast.
Stop your.
This kills me.
You
This
got
really
the
kills
light?
me.
Hey, buddy. Hi, Papa.
That's Charles by the door, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Paul. Yeah. Papa.
Come here and give me a hug.
That's
Oh, my baby. I love you so much. Oh, look how big you are.
Yes, baby.
You are. Where's your jacket, buddy? Oh, there it is.
She was so happy they showed up.
You want Papa to carry it?
I just fixed that microphone. I just did. Turn out the light.
I love this. I love this so much.
Say welcome to Coastal Change.
Turn out the lights. Party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over.
You can go American Idol.
I'm a fool.
You gotta do the Coastal Change. It's welcome to Coastal Change. Welcome to the Coastal Change.
Say, the driver is Papa.
There's my little one. And pay your bill on time.
He's like, I don't want to give up the microphone, not yet.
No.
No need to hide, no need to fear. You know the light is good.
It, man, that's heart wrenching.
I'll show you all my sorrow, all my pain. When I'm strong, I think it all will change. And when I'm weak, I doubt it. And suddenly, I need to hear it time and time again. It's written and it's always been.
He says no. He's saying no, Ranger, no. Look at her. Acting like you're reading Papa's text.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, baby.
I'm gonna find you. I've always been.
Oh my God. There are babies, y'all. There are kids.
Time again.
Yeah, baby.
It's written and it's always been. Love always I need to hear it time and time again.
Now with all these videos. Oh goodness. Oh. Okay. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Thank you for doing that with me. I'm yeah. That's in my early video editing day. Hey, whatever. I needed to do that beautiful. At that time to bring it back to center, because that's not center. Bring it back to center, because that's the heart of all these tragedies on our end. They're crimes on their end, tragedy receivers, I guess. There are kids. I remember Rob Wood saying that those are our kids, and I saw that time and time again. But that song that Love Always Wins, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's humanity. That's, that's the rest of the story. Thank y'all. Thank you. Love y'all. See you tomorrow. And then I'll see you next Tuesday. So don't forget to go check out, Megan. She's doing that 2-hour interview-ish before Lori's interview with Nate Eaton. Watch party here. Oh my God. Get ready to get your insults ready. Okay. because it's just, yeah, no rules. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that video, because I can't get enough of JJ. I can't. Like, he's one of the most beautiful little boys, and it just makes me so mad that he was taken from this earth too soon. And I wouldn't have ever known him if she hadn't done what she and they did, but that doesn't make him any less beautiful,
Right.
any less precious.
You fall in love with them because they're kids, they're innocent, they're your kids, they're my kids, they're our grandkids, they're future kids, there are so many past kids, there's so many kids who've never even, their names aren't even known. This is a crime against humanity, straight up. So love you guys.
Right.
Justice for Tylee, Charles, Tammy, JJ, and Joe.
Love always wins.
And Brandon. Love always wins. See you tomorrow.